What's
Good evening. We've got our BDU tonight without the legendary Patrick, who I'm not sure if he's working or if he's flying off somewhere to watch City play or whatever, but he's certainly not here where he's supposed to be. So I'm here tonight with MACCA, the Gov, and Trev to talk all things City. And I think particularly what I wanted to chat about tonight, and I said to Martin, who may also be joining us in a bit, be good to, we've spent the whole time talking about City signings and talking about Rodri, will he, won't he, won't he, whether he's worth 40 million or 100 million. I thought tonight it would actually be good to talk about the state of the Premier League more generally, looking at, what we think about probably the lack of business with most clubs done so far. There's certainly a lot to be done by any of the teams who are, wanting to compete for the title, but how we think their players fared in the World Cup, how we think they're all going into next season. So not asking everyone for their predictions because it's way too early and there's a lot to come. Arsenal are going to sign, Vinicius and Haaland and bring back Messi age 20 and from a cryogenic chamber or something, but. Where do we think we are now? How do you think the teams around us will be faring? So, I'll pass over for everyone to say hello. MACCA, you disappeared last week.
Yeah, mate. I'm very busy, man. Very important role. Just couldn't get back from the pub after work. And I'm the same next week. I can't believe I've got 2 Tuesday nights on the bounce working when I could be spending time with you boys.
Yeah, well, we'll move it to Wednesday next week then, so we can. So that you can't get away with it.
All good, mate. All good.
And how are you, Gov?
all good? Oh, good. Yeah, there's not much happening, is there? Really? Everyone's having a whinge. Everyone's having a whinge that no one's getting anyone. There's plenty of time yet. It'll all be madness in a couple of weeks. All these ins and outs will be happening.
Yeah.
So, patience.
Yeah. Is it me, or has this year been particularly bad?
I think it's been bad for whinging. Yeah.
But the
in
intention.
previous World Cups,
World Cup, yeah.
no one talked to players in previous World Cups. So this is the first World Cup I can remember where deals were being done. In the past, international managers and stuff have said, "No, you're not doing it." But obviously, Tuchel had said, "Yeah, we don't mind if Anderson's talking to City and a few other players." So it was busier than previous World Cups. But in the past, when there was a World Cup, nothing happened until about a week after it finished, which is only a couple of days ago. And then things started happening after the players had their week off, and they started to, roll back into training. The players who were out in the last 16 starting to roll in. Then business started. But this year, people were whinging when there isn't players signed during the World Cup, which is not something that ever happened before.
Is it the World Cup, or is it a development of the frenzy that is social media? Is it hitting new levels of this sort of speculation frenzy?
I think it's hitting new levels, and I think that in the past the World Cup made people think, oh, nothing's going to happen. But I think now the World Cup just kept football front, and no one took a break of even a week from football. So people are melting down in the first week of the World Cup about signings. And that's why I think it's important to talk about all the Premier League and our rivals, because the way some City fans are moaning, you would think, when I was joking earlier about, Arsenal getting Vinicius and Mbappe and Messi and everyone else, you would think that's what's been happening, around the traps. But, I think it's actually clear that, Tottenham have been very busy. United have been very busy signing their 7th or 8th choices after, they very publicly went for 5 or 6 players, and then Tottenham signed them, or City or someone else signed them. But there doesn't seem to be, that much going on far.
I think, Rich, a prime example is the Anderson deal. Everyone's saying, well, we must get him in before the World Cup, get him signed, make sure we get him, and it happens in the World Cup. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of would not be expecting players to be really thinking about next season and who they're signing for during the World Cup. I don't think you can play at your best, and I think this is one thing why Rodri blew up after the World Cup, because I don't think he was interested in talking about it during the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
His agent might be doing something, but he's focused on he's said his biggest ambition is winning the World Cup with Spain, and he's ruthlessly focused on that until I
think there was a lot of talk before. I think there was quite a lot of talk before the World Cup, because I remember saying to people, this is his last World Cup. He's earned it. He's earned the right to focus on that. And I was saying it often enough for it to have been a thing that people were moaning about him.
Yeah. I think he'll be. I think he'll be back for another. To be honest, but
I've got a bit of a conspiracy theory on your original thing of opening it out to other clubs. Do you want to hear me conspiracy theory about a couple of clubs? Okay, so some of the smarter clubs have realised that this is a season where there is an outrageous demand for blood, or for red meat, for fresh meat from their fan base, and they have no real intention of spending a lot of money. Some of them haven't got a lot of money to spend, United. And some of them have no intention of spending a lot of money. But what they've realised is that they can say they're going for the most ridiculous targets, and then knowing that what the price is going to be in advance, and then letting it fester and getting all their propagandists and their fan channels to get all giddy about it. A great example is Vinicius Jr. and Arsenal. Arsenal's owners know they're not buying him. They absolutely fucking know they're not. But all their fans are having a wank about it. And that's exactly what they wanted to achieve by getting all the fan channels, except for Lee Gunner, bless him, who's cynical as fuck, as always, and a good guy. He's a straight shooter. He's not getting caught up in it. But all the words that he often mentions are being used. And, he only wants Arsenal, and all the usual shit that you hear from
I think there's 2 clubs.
channels.
Yeah, I think there's 2 clubs in world football he'd sign for, apart from Real Madrid, and Arsenal aren't one of them.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to get bogged down in the Vinny thing. I want to get bogged down in this principle, because I've seen United now do it about 8 times. They're not missing targets that they're going for. They're going for targets that they have no intention of buying, and they know what the price is going to be before they go in.
Yeah.
And then they can say to their fans, "We tried. We really tried. We are big. Look at us. We're going for all these big name players. We're getting fucking none of them, and they didn't plan to get any of them."
I have to say though, I don't think United would have briefed that they were interested in Anderson if they thought he was going to City, because it makes them look small time. You know, it makes them look like they're the knaves.
But they are.
They're the tour clubs. The tour clubs of Manchester.
They're returning to type, Rich. They become that cup team that they always were before they had 2 managers.
I'm not having anyone calling United a cup team. They played 2 games in the cups last year.
Well, that's what I mean.
Went out to Grimsby.
Yeah, went out to Grimsby. Can't even remember who beat them in the FA Cup, but they went out to, was it Grimsby and Brighton? Yeah.
I don't know where United are getting their money from at all, because they are like 1.4 billion in debt.
Yep.
Now they've got 300. I've looked into it. They've got 360 million in outstanding transfer deals not paid.
Yeah. They've got to get the next 3 years. Yeah.
209 million. They've got to pay by next year. Now on that 1 billion, I think the interest was 3.5 at the time. Apparently, to pay it off longer, they've gone to 5.3. The interest. Yeah. They're looking at 50 million a year interest.
Yeah. And that's on top of what they pay to Glazers.
Where are they getting the money from? Like, they're borrowing money.
Same place that Australia and the United Kingdom and the United States and Canada and Japan and everyone else who's running with
Sheikh Mansour.
Criminal. No. The never, I think it's called. Yeah. Or maybe it's Neverland. I'm not sure.
Another thing is, if they're going for this new stadium, that's 2 billion. And that's going to be
the new stadium.
100 million a year interest on that as well.
There's a great adage, Mark, and it's if you're £1 million in debt, you've got a problem. If you're £369 million in debt, your bank's got the problem.
Yeah.
The thing that you need to know about United and this money that they want for the new stadium is they own so much of that land around Old Trafford, and they've owned it for decades.
Yeah,
that it's a shitload of land, right? The value of that land increases once they build it, increases tenfold, and so they'll be able to pay it off. But first of all, they need to raise it to develop it so that all the land that they own around it. Believe it or not, 2 years ago, Goldbridge did a really honest look at this, and he got a map and everything and showed the borders of the land that Man United own around Old Trafford. And it's a shitload. The thorn in their side, there's a big transport depot there.
Yeah.
And that's what they need 300 million for, is to relocate the transport depot to St. Helens, I believe, is the plan. And that's the only money that's coming from the government. But anything else, they've got to find the money for. And they're already massively in debt.
And the thing is,
so what they'll do is they'll base it on the projected value of all that property they own all around Old Trafford. And they'll say, yeah, but when we build it, all this land that we own, but then they're going to have to sell it.
Yeah. The thing is, if the Glazers
something commercial with it.
If the Glazers go to sell, who's going to buy all that debt?
Fucking no one. No one's selling.
They're not selling. United, not for sale. That's my favourite song.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the reality is, even with all that crap, their brand and everything else, they're still one of the highest revenue, most. If you look at their operating profit, they're still making operating profits because there's enough mugs who are prepared to pay to be on their shirts, and you know they've got things that, you know, if they ever want to get sponsorship by naming Old Trafford and stuff like that, that they can raise a lot more money as well.
Well,
the
new one
if
won't
they
be
want
called
to.
Old Trafford, will it?
Well, you assume not, because you assume they're going to have to call it something else to get $500 million off a company to name it for the next, you know, 50 years or something.
The thing why I mentioned it, Rich, is I mentioned it. That's the here and now. Down the track, I think they're going to be in loads of trouble down the track.
The thing is that there's a similarity with Real Madrid. I did a long article about it. I'm not going to go on about that. But they overspent 1.3 billion on their stadium renovation. They tried to sue Sheikh Mansour to keep him in a deal that he was sold, where they're developing a hotel and a big commercial part of it that Sheikh Mansour was getting involved in for 400 million. They got problems with planning permission. They hadn't done any due diligence. They were told they couldn't build it. There was loads and loads of restrictions. They started construction late, and then they started to hit compounding in construction costs, and the cost of materials went up exponentially. So it's not, they raised 576 million, but they actually overspent on top of that 1.3 billion. Sheikh Mansour won, by the way, took him to court, and the court in Paris said, this is absolute bollocks. You have not kept, you're no longer selling him what he bought or agreed to buy. It's very, very different. The deal died. It's a natural death. There is no deal to hold him to, because what you said you were selling is not what you're selling. So he's got no obligation. So there's a bit of history between City and Madrid that a lot of people don't know. They're 1.3 billion in debt. That's really not a small amount of money. Their liquidity is a problem, but they know that they can count, like United, on the income of fans that will turn up every week and buy the merch.
And they're during their ownership, you know, the election for president. The president has to put up about 800 million euros in escrow of their own funds to provide security. Now, the main reason for that was Florentino Perez is a billionaire and he can afford to do it. So it immediately counted out 99.999% of Madrid fans, which is why only one person, even though it's meant to be a club and it's meant to be, you know, you vote one of your members in, they've set it up so now you can vote one of your members in, but they have to have been a member for 20 years. So no one can come in without a 20-year plan, i.e. no Roman Abramovich or Sheikh Mansour, because you'd have to plan it 20 years ahead, and you have to be able to put down, I think it was 800 million euros security to be president. So basically, you've got to have been a member for a very long time and a billionaire. And so,
Riquelme was the only one who qualified. Yeah,
I think so. I think he
was the only one who qualified.
So they have two people going for it.
But Riquelme got 35%, and I was telling people beforehand, and a couple of things I wrote on the prediction markets, they gave him a 4% chance of winning, right? And the bookies were giving him a 17% chance of winning. He got 35%, and it's really interesting what he stood on. Perez said, I will go into it a bit if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
Tell me if it's boring.
No, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So Real Madrid are owned by what's called the Socio. It's 90,000 fans, all of whom own shares in the club. And they're the only ones who can. Yeah, and there's a way to qualify. You have to have been born within the sound of Bow Bells or whatever the Madrid equivalent is. You have to have had a family history of being from Madrid, all of that. So, which is beautiful, right? I mean, we like the sound of that. It is quite romantic.
Yeah.
But now we know how the hierarchy works. You got to have 800 million to stand to be the president. It's slightly different than that. Right.
Exactly.
But what he said, what Perez stood on, was that he wanted to raise 500 million by selling a percentage of the Socio shares to a private equity firm. And Riquelme stood on one policy. Forget all the circus about
not doing that
and all of that.
Yeah.
He stood on one policy and he said, we're not doing that. It's a slippery slope. If we open the door to private equity, where does it ever stop?
Yeah.
And so, but he got 35% of the vote. That does not put Perez in a strong position right now. And what I think he's doing, because they've not won the Champions League for 2 years, so they're out $500 million. They've not won their league and they've not won the Champions League. That's 250 million a year that they would have expected to get some of. They didn't get either. They didn't win the league, which is 56 million euros, and you get about 220 for going all the way to the final and winning it from the Champions League. So it's quite a chunk. It's 270 million. So there's his $500 million. There's his 500 million that he needed, and he didn't get because they failed on the pitch. I think that what they're doing in this window is a Hail Mary. My theory about Real Madrid, and I know someone will prove me wrong at some point, but I'm doing quite a lot of reading around them because I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
And my theory is that this madness that we're seeing from them right now is a desperate move. It's not a planned thing that they want to do. It's a Hail Mary. They have to win the Champions League this year. They fucking have to. It's not negotiable.
It's hard to see how they do. I mean,
have they sold any players?
They haven't sold anyone. They've not even put a money bid in for Rodri. Yeah. They're talking like it's 99% done.
Yeah.
All their propaganda outfits are putting out that it's done. It's a done deal. The player wants it. Everyone's the usual bullshit that they come out with. But they're putting it out every hour, the same accounts. Madrid Extra and the other one, Ex Madrid or whatever, the two big ones. They're putting out the same thing over and over again. And it sounds like they're whistling past the graveyard.
I think the trouble is, go on. They're really going short term because, you know, if you look at PSG, there's no PSG have got, you know, we debated this last Friday morning, but PSG have got a pretty young side. You know, their stars are typically in the mid-20s. Yeah, some of them like Doué and stuff a bit younger. Dembele's 27, but they're a young side, so there's no reason to think they're not going to be better next season in Europe. You know, they're able to add players. You know, they've got an even easier league than, I mean, probably physically slightly harder than the Liga because it's a bit of a pacier league, but in some ways it's easier for them than it is for Madrid because you haven't got Barcelona playing in the French league. But it's I still think it's a, you know, looking at Madrid last season, it's a big jump to go from playing like they did to playing like Paris or Bayern. And I'm not sure when I look at Madrid and what they lacked. You know, I mean, obviously Bernardo's a great player, but I don't think he fundamentally transforms the way they play. But, you know, I look at it, I'm not sure, you know, Diamande is going to come in. You know, he looks fantastic, but he's only a year out of the Spanish second division. So, you know, like he could be the next Messi, but he could be the next, you know, Freddie Adu. I mean, you know, it's hard to know, you know, just how good he's going to be. So, and to me, that means, you know, Rodrigo was already unhappy. So is he going? Who's about the only one in their team who actually does any work up front. Because I think, you know, Mbappe and Vinicius, you know, they're not exactly known for their hard work. So I look at, you know, but
they're going to be led by the special one. Let's have a look at the special one's record over the last 5 years.
What's he? Well, no, don't go 5. Go 10. Go 10 or 15.
I did go 10 on the post I made, but let's just do the last 5.
Last decade has done nothing.
Right. So 21-22, 6th. This is with Roma. 22-23, 6th. 23-24, 6th. And then Fenerbahce, okay, 2nd, because the two teams in that league take turns. He was
mediocre at United and mediocre at Spurs.
Yeah,
so,
well, United finished 9th 1 year with him.
Yeah.
And then Benfica, 3rd.
Yeah.
That was his last job. He finished 3rd. He's the man who's going to lead Real Madrid out of the shit. Plus, he's known to be combustible, and he's being put, it's like throwing a firework in a box of fireworks. That dressing room's combustible. They were beating each other up last season. And they're putting that guy in there who's going to fucking go in there and with the I'm Jose Mourinho and you'll fucking do what I tell you.
So I guess we've written off Madrid then, but I think we should probably move back to the Premier League, or Martin will be on doing a Real Madrid show. As much as
let's talk about how shit Arsenal they're going to be.
I just wanted to say, Mbappe and Vinny don't have to do any hard work in there. Bernardo's there now.
Yeah. But even then, I think you still have to do work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we were letting Semenyo, Doku and Haaland do absolutely nothing, despite what some fans whinge about. They were all working pretty hard. So we're looking at City. Obviously, you know, we're assuming possibly that Berardi comes in, and then depending on who we sell, you know, we probably want a winger. You know, someone in the thread says a winger from Spain. Now, to me, if I was getting a winger from Spain, it would be Nico Williams. I think if Madrid aren't going to sell us anyone, then you know Nico Williams to me outside. You know, Yamal looks.
He's gone.
Well, what did he say wrong, Martin?
Yamal.
Give him the hook.
Yeah. So you know, I think you know we'll sign that. We'll have to sign a keeper now. I've got no idea. I guess we'll start to hear.
Sorry, Nico Williams.
Yeah.
Are you taking the piss?
No, I like him. He when he came on for Spain, he made a real difference.
He actually did that game. He impressed me in that game for the first time ever.
I rate him. I rate him.
Oh my God, you'll be doing Rafael Leao in a minute.
I don't rate him.
I don't rate him. But you know, for saying we're getting a winger from Spain, we're not getting anyone from Barcelona. We're probably not getting anyone from Madrid.
The young winger that we were talking about, some young kid.
Why would you bother when you've got
Savinho?
Yeah. Why would we bother getting rid of Savinho to sign a winger who's probably not done as much as Savinho's done?
You know,
waste of time.
I'd keep.
Why would we sell Reinders?
Right back. Well, we'll only sell Reinders once we've got Berardi in. I would think.
Why? He's had his year of getting used to the Premier League. He might turn out to be a Bobby Dazzler in his second season.
Yeah.
I
know the sentiment isn't that way, but you know me. I'm rarely. I'm rarely, persuaded by sentiment alone. I'm going off my eye test.
I think all the others when the eye test changed throughout the year, changed the way they played. If anything, Reinders got worse.
Well, are we looking
with every
at
game?
If Reinders stays, what we do with Nico G?
I think Nico G is a far more important role in the squad than Reinders, because I think Reinders is up against Elliott and Berardi, and Nico G is probably a backup for either Rodri or whoever we sign.
Nico G will start the season in the City team.
Yeah, I think he
will.
Is that because people are still away?
Yeah, but Berardi and Rodri won't, even with Rodri signs, Berardi won't be ready and Rodri won't be ready. So you go with Nico G at the start of the season. So I don't see how you can sell Nico G right now.
That's right. Rodri just had his surgery today.
And I think Nico G had a lot of very good games last year. So I've got no issue with Nico G. And, say the second season, Trevor, I think Nico G improved. He obviously had once Rodri came back at the end of the season, he never was given a chance. But, he improved and he did a good job in the first half of the season. I'm not sure Reinders, apart from Wolves, did a good job.
Yeah, I did say, Rich, that all the players that Pep didn't fancy playing, they will be playing until all the players come back.
Yeah,
they'll all get a chance.
And the kids, and he'll have a look at the academy because, who knows? There might be, the next Nico Riley.
Yeah.
Someone who comes through and surprises everyone at really coming through.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we've talked endlessly about City, and I'm sure, there'll be other shows this week where we really talk about City. So let's talk about our rivals. Who we think could be rivals for the title.
Oldham are doing nothing.
I'm going to get Martin to just send anyone off if anyone says the Rags.
They put a roof on the away end.
38 games. So let's talk about our rivals, and we can have a bit of a comedy section to talk about clubs like United and Tottenham at the end. But what are you all thinking about? Let's start with Arsenal champions. How would you feel today if you're an Arsenal fan? Now I watched a bit of various YouTube channels this week, and if you watch AFTV, they are the biggest favourites for the Premier League the world's ever seen.
Yeah,
the World Cup.
And they're about to sign Vinny.
If you're an Arsenal fan and you were totally deluded, you'd say they're going to retain the title because they were the greatest champions you've ever seen. But they were an okay team in a bang average season across, many teams played badly, played averagely, and they won it. They won it fair and square. But gee whiz, they weren't that great, were they? And you know what it's like? It's the hardest job in the world to retain the title. So I don't think they're all that. I don't think, every team's going to be out to beat the champions this year, and they'll have a fair few losses that they won't expect. So I don't see them
to win by more than one goal a lot. And in April and May, they were scoring 0.8 goals a game.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you think as well, one thing I think about Arsenal is that they've already lost Saliba possibly till after Christmas, and their whole team was built around Gabriel and Saliba. And I think, Gabriel's been very publicly humiliated on quite a few occasions by Haaland in the last few months. I think mentally, Gabriel's taken a bit of a battering. He's then going to have to play alongside someone new because Saliba, who I always rated better, I know, people now would rate Gabriel higher than Saliba, but to me, Saliba was the main man there. Declan Rice at the World Cup, I thought looked a shot. I think he looked like he'd been playing for Klopp's Liverpool.
Yeah.
So is he going to be able to come back and play at his level? I looked at Declan Rice and I thought he should be sent on holiday for 6 weeks.
Oh, boss man's there. I can go now.
Try and bring him back.
I'm not closing out.
You are. You're closing out. I thought,
I don't make the rules.
I thought he was on a plane.
I thought Rice looked like he was going to be October, November.
Yeah. He looks knackered, doesn't he?
And Saka, everyone's like raving about him again because he had a good friendly match against France, but he wasn't fit. He wasn't fit enough to play any of the games. So I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at Arsenal's spine. Last season, it was Gabriel and Saliba. It was Rice, and I don't know if they had a spine up front because Gyökeres is still a championship footballer. I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking Arsenal really need to spend. I think they really do need to go and buy Bruno G. I think they really need to go and sign Vinicius or someone because I think they need an injection of 3 world-class players if they've got a chance of retaining.
The other thing, Rick,
the
other thing is all the rules that have changed now. They can't waste time on throw-ins. They can't waste time on corners. They can't waste time when the goalkeeper goes down uninjured.
Yeah.
And they can't push everyone about all the time. So I'm not a great one for the tinkering with the rules, but it's going to be so hard for them to play a normal football game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to change their style a bit. I don't think their fans will put up for too long playing.
Well, they'll have
as they did.
They'll have him out after 3 games if they lose 3 in a row.
The special one will probably be back on the market by then.
I think it's a thing with the Rodgers deal where I think Alonso has got more pull than Arteta. And also, he'd be playing regular. Now, to me, they're saying, where would Rodgers fit in the Arsenal side? Well, to me, he's better than Odegaard and Norgard. He'd be in there right away.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I think you look at Arsenal's front 4, and if Saka was 100%, I agree Saka's better than Rodgers. But Saka of last season, Rodgers could play in any of those 4. He could play centre forward better than Gyökeres. I think he could play in front of anyone in their front 4.
I think Alonso's got more pull than him. I really think.
Yeah. I agree with that, Governor.
Definitely.
Yeah. The longer term, slightly longer term, but Arsenal. I had a look at this the other day. 8 of their first team players have 2 years left on their contract. That means that what's going to happen in January this year is that any of the ones that Real Madrid fancy, the campaigns will start. They start in the January like they did with Rodri.
Yeah, that's right.
To stop them going into the next window and extending. They want them to run out that last year. So they're going to have that to deal with in January. So they're going to have 2 or 3 players who are being targeted like that. Because that's Real Madrid's pattern for the last 4 seasons, is that they start a campaign in the January in the players next to last year that then goes through the whole window, like we've just seen with Rodri, to dissuade them from extending with the club that they're at when that last year comes in, and so they can get them on the free. That's going to happen again. So Arsenal are going to be dealing with that in January, and I don't know whether that, as an institution, they're savvy enough to know how to deal with it. Because right now, they need to be nailing those players down right now, like this window. They need to be extending them all, the ones that they think are still going to be around, and like Rice, their superstar, 8 players out of the first team with 2 years left on their contracts. It's going to be an issue for them in January, trust me. So they're going to have that pressure on them, as well as the fact that they'll be shit because they can't cheat anymore.
And depending where they are in the league at that time, Trevor, as well. If they're going for the title, then obviously they'll want to stick it through. But if they're hugging behind, they might be up for the move.
I think they're in for it this season. I think they're in for a tough time.
Yeah, I do.
The thing is, the fans won't ever acknowledge it because they're just delusional.
If they do what we didn't do in 2023, and they invest in like 3 world-class talents, and by world-class talents, I mean they go out and sign Vinicius, Alvarez, and Bruno G or something, and really strengthen their positions, give themselves some new competition, give themselves some new weapons. So I think the other thing with Arsenal, and I think it's one of the reasons they were not as good in the second half of the season, is they based a lot of their game on set pieces and playing in a very specific way. Now, Arsenal don't have the biggest, most physical, fastest team in the Premier League, but they had a head start in that they were planning the way they were going to play. But I think they were starting to get fewer goals towards the end of the season because other opposition coaches had 6 months to watch them. So
I played them once.
I'd
also played them once.
Yeah, City in the later games, I thought we were very effective against them at the set pieces compared to
battered them in the cup final.
So I think I tend to agree. I think there's an incredible arrogance and cockiness for Arsenal fans, but I'm looking at Arsenal at the minute and I'm thinking they could, they might not just drop to second. I could see them easily dropping third, fourth. Dare I say it, close to a drop off like Liverpool last season. I mean, but that said, moving to Liverpool, I look at Liverpool. They've spent nothing. They've got glaring holes in their squad. They've got the 2 best players either injured with an ACL or coming back from an ACL. I look at Liverpool and I honestly thought they would come out this summer and buy a spine for their club, buy 1 or 2 times. Because I look at Liverpool and if they do not sign significantly, I think they could be in a huge amount of trouble because they got this wonderful attack. But if you've got a 35-year-old Van Dijk who was dropping off a cliff last season and you're relying on him to be your rock, you've got McAllister who... I love McAllister. I wanted City to sign him a few years back. He was a shadow last year. So I'm looking at that, and you've got Szoboszlai and then the attack. And I'm not sure anyone else in that midfield defence. I don't think Alisson's what he was. I
rate Areola. I rate Areola because he's got his own idea about football, which is what's necessary these days. You can't try to be a Pep clone. He's never tried to do that. Like Pep never tried to be anybody else. He took forward what Cruyff put in his book and made it his own and added to it. So that's the history. This is in the Elton Wellesby interview that's coming out soon. this book that Cruyff wrote is what was the foundation of Pep's football, right? And hopefully Maresca will continue that and reference the same thing. And Iriola's got his own. I don't know where his ideas come from, but he's got his own idea. And the other thing that he's got, which is the most underestimated quality in any football club, is leadership. Mm-hmm. Players will go to war for him. Players will run through walls. Players who aren't as good as other players will play better than they've ever played before under leadership. And Iriola's got that. Is it going to be enough to get
question for you though, Trev?
Liverpool over the line?
But do superstar players on 350 grand a week do that for you? That is a very big question. And have they got the players? Like he plays, arguably some might say even more high octane than Klopp. Now I'm looking at Liverpool's team. I think Virgil van Dijk probably wants to be sitting in a Mozart concert, not playing high octane rock football. If he does that, he's not gonna last till October. I don't think they're fullbacks. Maybe Kirkaz, I guess he's done it with him. It's quite clear the right backs.
They wanted to get Curtis Jones was going to go. What's that? They're going to have to keep him now.
Yes, Szoboszlai, he's a great player. He can probably play whatever. And I think their forward line can probably play that high octane. I think they've got rid of their laziest forward. But when are they getting Ekitike back? Possibly the new year. They don't know. Isaac, it's going to take him, even though he's a lot younger than Roger when he had his ACL. Like Isaac's got to really come back to form. And I think
Wirtz did not blow up any skirts in the World Cup. Playing with a style of football in a team that he's familiar with. Looked like he looked lost like he looked in the Premier League.
That's a prime example of gambling on these players, isn't it? They're supposed to be, everyone's going for, and what happened.
But I think they might need 5. I think they might need 5 big signings at the back and in the middle. I think, I'm not sure. I think they need a winger. They need 2 fullbacks. They need 2 centre backs, possibly a number 6 as well. Because I just think they look.
I think that Rio, the young kid, he'll probably have to.
Oh, the little lad.
He'll be playing more minutes now.
The 2 clubs we talked about so far are both American owned, and I've got a meta theory about American owners.
They're waiting for the first draft picks in a couple of years' time. Yeah. Or they're going to trade during the August trade window. They're going to try and trade one of their players for 2 prospects.
I think they ring their mates in America and say, I can't believe it. I've got this business, and no matter how shit the product is, these people will not stop coming and giving me their money and buying our merchandise. Because I think that they genuinely can't fucking believe it. And that's why there's been this influx of Americans. Because they know the TV money's massive, and the TV have to pay it as long as you stay in the Premier League. Yeah. Right? That's all they want. That's all. They are not glory focused like fans. And I believe our owners are glory focused because they're so fucking rich.
I think you're undercooking US sport. A lot of recent seasons, Dallas Cowboys have been mediocre. The New York Giants have been mediocre. Right. Some really massive teams. You go into, basketball. The Knicks printed money, and till this season they did nothing for. Well, Pat might know, but I'm imagining it's like 20 years or more. And you go into baseball.
I have American fans. I have American fans saying that attendances drop significantly. People don't buy the merch if the team isn't winning anything.
I think that may be true of some, but I think these clubs like the Dallas Cowboys go negative in the season, and they're still, one of the richest, making the most money things on earth. I mean, if the team's not doing well, they get the cheerleaders out there and make a $300 million a year show about the dancing girls. I do think, and I think
I might be wrong on this theory, but I like it. I still like my theory. I still might use it.
I think some of the new. I think probably it depends on the oldness. get Pat's opinion on this, but I think you've got those older clubs like, you know, the Boston teams, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, you know, New York, you know, Chicago, who can seemingly be mediocre for years and still get real support and really bring the money in. Some of the newer teams, some of the ones that have, you know, been invented in recent years, I think that's probably much more, or teams that have moved. So, you know, a team that's moved from LA to somewhere else. Or
I don't even know where the Raiders are now, and I'm a Raiders fan, if I'm watching it.
I thought they were Oakland, but anyway. But
they're in Vegas now, Trev. You saw it then.
They've been all over the
Vegas,
place.
yeah,
where are they
Vegas
now?
Trev. Yeah, Trev, you're in Vegas now. You still a fan?
Yeah, no, I started supporting them because I like the black shirt and I bought one.
I thought you were going to say you like Bo Jackson.
Well, no, I mean, I got to know the team and started to watch them seriously because I like American football. You know, I like watching it. I think it's like violence and chess. You know, it's a mashup of chess and violence. Nothing's not like about that.
Philly will start making the money now. LeBron going over to them now, won't he?
All right.
They're making shirt money now with them.
Have you seen LeBron doesn't want to live in Philly? He's going to live in New York and commute to Philadelphia for every game.
Is he?
Yeah.
How far's that? About an hour and a half? Well, about an hour and a helicopter.
Given it's LeBron, there'll be about half an hour in a helicopter.
I know.
There's
a player on there that has been having a go at his son. His son plays, doesn't he? Saying he's not good enough and all that, and he's playing on the same team as him now. So that'll be interesting.
What a sideshow!
Yeah.
What a sideshow that is.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah. So Liverpool, unless they really make some signings, Arsenal, let's say, make signings. We've written them off. You know, they'll be struggling to make top four. You know, so they've been our two biggest rivals, and they both look, I think, you know, in a weaker position. And I say that because we've done a lot of business in the last 18 months. We've got a lot of players who are coming in. I think we'll be in a younger, fitter state. Which teams?
Didn't you say the other day that January should be counted as part of this window? Like we did some of this. I think you said it a couple of days ago. This window should be. We should include what we did in January in this window because we probably would have bought those players in this window, but we got them early.
Khaldun said that. Khaldun said that. In his
right. Okay. Khaldun said it.
Well, it would have been Gay. Would have been one of them anyway.
Yeah, Mark Gay and Semenyo were brought forward from the summer to January.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So they'd already done some of the summer spending in January.
Yeah.
So we've written off.
Some people have got this thing that if they bitch and moan about Viano's really listening in. He's watching these shows, he's listening to Spaces, and Hugo Viano will go, sorry guys, 20 people on a Twitter space want me to buy Vinny Jr. I'm going to go and buy Vinny Jr. Because that's how they think multi-billionaire organizations work.
That's how they run.
That's like, you know, Tesla and everyone else sat there. Two people are moaning, let's change. Not the way the world works. It's, listen, have your opinion. Scream and rant and shout if it makes you feel better, but just understand that it won't change anything at the end of the day.
Can I just put some out there? Like with the Rodgers situation, we'll probably won't go into it, but when he goes, we're gonna have to fill that spot. I know Bawadi's supposed to be coming in the end. In the end, I know Nico G and Reinders won't be going right away. They'll start the season, but one of them will probably go, maybe. Do you reckon we need that second midfielder? Because one of them...
If Rodri goes, yeah. I think we're signing Berardi. Rodri, they all goes.
I think
if Rodri goes, we'll sign someone else, yeah.
If Rodri goes, are we going to jump in for Nick Bruno?
That's what I would do.
That's what I would do.
Whether City feel the same, but if we are losing Rodri, I'd want an experienced, ready to go straight in the first team, Premier League experienced player. And I don't think there's that many we could go and get.
No,
who we could use because I think we'll need that extra player.
Is there anyone homegrown? I'm not going to go on about the homegrown because we did a show about
Nick
it.
O'Reilly, you mean?
Nick O'Reilly.
No, is there anyone homegrown who could be bought in for Rodri?
Well, the only ones that Alex Scott and Wharton to fit in that position. Do you know what I mean?
That was the conclusion from the earlier show.
Yeah.
We are potentially. Shall I say it? Okay. The most you can have in the squad is 25.
Yeah.
I think that we need 25. So the whole hypothesis is based on the squad of 25, right? Of those, 17 can be non-homegrown, but 8 must be. If we have 17 homegrown and we want a squad of 25, we have to have 8 homegrown. And
up to though, Trev, innit? Up to.
No. If we've got a squad of 25, if 17 of those are foreign, the rest of them have to be homegrown. That's the calculation, right? So and none of them can be under 21s. So Nico doesn't count. Several of the players don't count. And if Traf's gone, any more home, we've got about 5 homegrown players. And if we're going to have a squad of 25 with 17 foreigners, we need 3 more homegrowns. And I think that is informing should inform who we talk about, who we should be buying way more than it is, but nobody's really interested in it.
I think we'll be signing an English
earlier about it, but
I think we'll be signing an English goalkeeper. I think we'll be signing an English goalkeeper.
Yeah, we're still too short. Too short.
Yeah,
if Jack goes,
I'm not against. I mean, I was someone a year ago who was saying I'd go for Wharton 100 times out of 100 over Elliot Anderson. Now, I know Anderson had a better season than Wharton last year, but Wharton's one of the few English players who can set the tempo for a game. And to me, we talked about Rodri. What do we lose?
We absolutely need that. We need that because that's what Rodri does.
And he's one of the few players. I actually think Bruno can set the tempo a bit, and he's, offensively, he's not too bad offensively. I think to say keep Kovacic, not Bruno. Kovacic, I don't see what role Kovacic plays at City because he's not a 6. He's not going to be an 8 now. We've got Anderson. So Kovacic is there to play when we've got injuries midweek, come off the bench.
10, 15
he's a good
minutes.
player. He's a good player, but I just don't see
so
him.
we got Wharton and who else did you say? Scott. Can both play Rodri's position.
I don't know. Can Scott set a tempo? Like Scott's always played a much more dynamic game than Wharton. Like Wharton, kind of not Xabi Alonso, but he kind of sits deep I think sets
Scott's
the tempo.
More forward than he is. Yeah.
Scott to me is more up against Elliot Anderson, and I'm not sure. I think we need something a bit different because I think what we lose from Rodri is that tempo setting, and I think we do need someone who's going to do that.
And that's from knowledge from our community, by the way. 2 months ago, when people first started talking about Rodri, we had quite a long show where we got people to commit to what are the skills that we lose if Rodri goes, and we came up with 5, and the tempo setting was one of them. Because we were trying to think, okay, you can't replace Rodri. He's irreplaceable. He's a unicorn. Fine. Our club have a history of moving on past irreplaceable players. Like 4 irreplaceables weren't in the travel squad. And I can list them if you want, but Kev was irreplaceable, but we want to leave.
But you flip back to Wharton. My only problem with Wharton is that
it's not physical enough.
Mariska has that double pivot, but one of them nearly always comes from fullback.
Right.
So if Anderson, for example, or Rodri, whoever's one of those, can you actually? I don't think Wharton can play 6 on his own and have a fullback join him unless you go and sign, it was the guy at Lam. If you sign prime Philip Lam to go from left back up to play alongside Wharton, I think you could probably have Wharton as your 6. But I don't think we've got a fullback. I'm not even sure there is a fullback available who could come and
do you think Do you think Wharton's physical enough, though? I don't think he is.
Not to do Rodri's job on his own. That's why he'd have to be one of 2 sixes. And I'm not sure if one of them is going to be a fullback.
Well,
there's a good.
We have to do that, Rich. Rodri's on 3 jobs. Do you know what I mean? Three players' jobs. Yeah. So you have to do that. You have to mix it up.
Yeah, but I think we automatically are, by the way Maresca plays. You know, forms that base of 2 in midfield, but one of them is going to be the fullback. So, you know, unless he sees something far more advanced than we're seeing from Guardiola or Nori or something where they can actually go into, you know, alongside someone like Wharton and actually give the cover, it's a bit of a risk to me.
Excited to see what Guardiola does if he's given a different role.
See, Guardiola and O'Reilly,
just absolute quality,
can be in there.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. There was a general reluctance amongst, again, our community, because I asked the question a couple of weeks ago: are we afraid of giving Nico his position because he's a midfielder? Are we afraid because he's been so good at left back? Are we fearful of giving him his shot in midfield now? Is he now forever condemned to being a left back?
I just think you don't start him day one of the season. I think, you know, you have to give him a chance to build into midfield, because I think it's so much more responsibility, harder role. He'll have fans on his back within 2 weeks, and I don't think we want to do that to Nico. So I think Nico long term.
O'Reilly, by the way, not.
Yeah. But I don't think we're going to start the season Nico O'Reilly. Yeah,
so
what we may do.
Nico's still left back, and then he drifts in.
Yeah. You know, let's say, you know, let's say Rodri stayed, or we signed Bruno G, or we signed someone who can be a proper tempo setting 6. If Nico O'Reilly is the fullback that then goes in to form the midfield 2, I think we'd have to play someone else right back, because I don't want Nunes as one of 3 centre backs, to be honest. But if that happened, that would give him the chance to learn to play midfield, you know, almost in possession. So I think that would give him a chance to move into midfield without just saying day one you're starting at 6 or 8,
right,
and we're building the team around you. So on to the other rivals. The one I'd like to throw out there, who I actually think are going to be next season's surprise package positively, and Trevor will hate this, but I actually think Chelsea.
No, I don't hate it. I think you're right. I agree.
I think Chelsea are a team I'm worried about next season. I think they'll be back in the top 4 without a shadow, and I think they'll have a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, and they've got a good manager. Maybe not quite good enough in goal and at centre back, and maybe haven't quite got the centre forward.
They're not done. They're not done spending yet.
No, but they have I think they've got a really solid midfield. I think they've got good fullbacks. Yeah, I think they've got a couple of good centre backs, but maybe not the 4 you need. I'm not convinced about the keepers. I'm not convinced about the centre forward, but I think that's a team that, you know, could be a threat.
Rich, the problem you got, at the moment, you have people who are very impatient and they're very upset and they're very move at my pace, not the club's pace. And the thing is, it's like the Rodri thing. They can't buy the Rodri replacement until they 100% know Rodri's going.
That's right.
And it's fine going, Rodri's going to go. Rodri's going to go. If Real Madrid don't pay the money we want, Rodri doesn't leave. Rodri is under contract at Manchester City for 1 more year.
That's right.
So if you think we're just going to sell him for a bag of beans and 20 million quid and a can of Coke, and then we have to go and spend 80, 90 million on a replacement, well, they ain't going to do that. They ain't going to buy the replacement until they know Rodri is gone.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people don't understand this. They don't get it. They say, you know, it's at the pre-season. I was listening to Asan yesterday, and he made a great point. The players we want are not going to be here now anyway. They're on holiday. Any kind of player Manchester City are interested in won't be here for 2 or 3 more weeks anyway.
That's right.
So does it matter whether we sign him now or sign him in 2 weeks? They're not going to be here. They're not going on the Asian tour. The only people going on the Asian tour are the ones who got knocked out in the World Cup group stage. So your Semenyos, your Kishinovs, your Gavadios, all Haaland and all of those ain't back till the Community Shield.
Yep.
None of them.
And speaking of Josko Gvardiol, City have just announced his contract extension until 2031.
Yeah.
Oh, was that something else we guessed as well, that part? Did we guess that one?
No, I don't make the rules.
It's funny how we get a lot of the things right, but we talk bullshit, innit? We talk bullshit, but we get a lot of this right, don't we? Funny that.
We're going to have the same problem in 2030 and 31 because a lot of them deals end then. So we're going to have the same.
This is City Ball. What's the point of tour engagement for pre-season if fans' input is so minimal? Do you want me to be really clear to you, City Ball? And I don't like this phrase. We're customers, mate, to the club.
We used to be fans.
That's what we are now, City Ball. You are a customer. You pay your money to what?
Let's be quite honest.
Our money.
Peter Swales didn't take any notice of us either.
Yeah. So he's sat at home listening to Twitter Spaces and YouTube shows, going, "Oh, that chap does something very good." He couldn't give tiny tough shits about you, mate, or me, or anyone else. That's the business. It's a business, guys, as well. As much as I hate that and I hate talking about it, it's the fact of reality. Soriano called us customers because that's what we are.
Well, it's not like they're giving us a shit product, though.
No. I'm not saying they're giving us a shit product.
They're giving us the best food we've ever had.
I'm talking about the people saying,
we've eaten so well.
No, I'm talking about the people who think
do we really care?
People think
that they think we're customers.
Martin, I always go back to the same thing. It's the generational fan, and it always will be.
Yeah, fans don't choose signings and never have.
Can I just ask another one on Rodri? Martin, I think Trevor, you might know more. Well, Martin might. This agent of Rodri's is pretty new, isn't he? Now, the one that Bernardo had, that Mendes, how professional was that? How we got rid of Bernardo when, and then they did the Madrid deal. How smooth was that? Now, I've heard this new agent that Rodri's got is pretty new and fresh. Like, he's making it a bit of a circus, isn't he? About Rodri.
The problem with some agents is that they think they are the main character.
And apparently he's only got 2 or 3 on his books, hasn't he? And Rodri's the main one.
He's the Jerry Maguire, isn't he?
I'm just looking up his name again.
So
Pablo Baquero.
That's what I looked at. He's got that Caballero, whatever his name is, and Rodri's the main guy. So obviously he's doing all the business with. He's making it a circus. So it's making Rodri he's probably on. He's just started to finish his surgery, so now he'll go on holiday and recover. And all this noise is going on while he's relaxing. But there's got to be something with this agent that's doing all this. I know Madrid are causing a lot of trouble with it as well, but his agent ain't helping one bit. To me.
Well, it depends what his objective is.
But it's all around money, isn't it, with him? If he's his main client.
It'll be interesting to see. I think we'll find out. If it's all about money, he stays for a year.
Yeah.
If it's about going back to Spain, he goes this summer, and he'll take a massive haircut on his financial situation if he goes this summer. And if he does,
the numbers I did is just massive.
Yeah, I think he'll probably. I think if he goes this summer, he'll probably be taking about 200k a week. If he goes next summer, he'll probably be getting about 400k a week. Yeah. And if he's prepared to take the haircut to 200, I think that shows it's not about money.
Sign on
bonus will be about 20 or 30 million.
Exactly, Pat. Yeah, you could live on that.
I mean, we've not had nothing of him for the last 2 years because of injury and that. And then he comes back and does that. I mean, it's a bit of a hindrance being the best player in the World Cup. I mean, it made it worse, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean no disrespect when I say that there's never been a better time for him to go. because we didn't have him for a full season because of the ACL.
Yeah.
And this season, we've only had half of him. And so we got used to playing without him. We've not been as good without him, but we're 2 years into working out how to play without him and learning what we need when he's not there, and perhaps buying what we need because we've seen what we like when he isn't there. And so if there is a time for him to go, I don't want him to go at all. I want him to extend. Obviously I do. You know, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
But if he has to go right now, he's actually, because if he stays another season, we become dependent on having a Rodri again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We aren't moving on from Rodri, which we kind of had in the last season and definitely the season before when we just didn't have him. We kind of worked out another way.
But I wonder, Trev, if we have him for the last season, will we win the league with him?
Yeah.
I wonder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or without
him? I know. I think we do win. I think we would have won the league last season had he been fit for all of it.
That could be the difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you could have bought any one of about 5 or 6 of our players from the way they were playing in 23. One of those players, you know, a fit De Bruyne, Gundogan back at his best. Any one of those players added to our team last year, we'd have won the league.
Yeah.
When we were,
I mean,
you know,
the worst scenario with Rodri is if he decides he wants to go now, and we have, obviously the price has got to be 80 to 100 million. Now, if Real Madrid aren't going to pay that, do you think he's that kind of player who down tools?
No,
I
don't.
Not a bit of it.
I think the guy's got integrity.
But
He's no social media, no tattoos, drives a humble car.
I think
donates half of his wages to charity.
Yeah.
I think we'll accept lower than that. I think we'll accept lower than 80 or 100 million. I think.
No,
I don't think we should. I don't think we should. I think this is the season where Real Madrid need to learn that they cannot do this strategy against our club. Go and do it to fucking everybody else. We don't give a shit. But don't ever come sniffing round our players in January with your massive media campaigns, because we will fucking sell to you. We will turn around and say to you, put your money fucking down like we're doing with Rodri right now.
Right.
It's fucking 100 million or fuck off.
You say
Perez is like the dog that caught the car. Perez did not want to catch the car. He wanted to run after it and bark at it and wait until next season when the car be parked up with the keys in, the door wide open and the engine revving so he could just get in and drive it off. That's what Perez wanted. And that's why he's in trouble right now.
The trouble is we punish ourselves to punish Madrid, and that might not do us good. It might not do Madrid good, but it does.
we're making a stand, Rich.
Not do any harm. Yeah.
But I think longer term, who are Man City in the pecking order? This is a fundamentally important moment for our club. I think this transfer, it could change the politics of the big four, of which we are one. There's us, Barca, well, big five, maybe, in the world. I'm not talking big five.
I think it would be honestly, I think it would be a stupid hill to die on when we damage ourselves as a club. I think we'd be, firstly, we've signed and kept the best players we've kept by not being like that to them. You know, we have set a price, and I think we'd be harming ourselves every bit as much as we'd be
in the short term. In the short term, maybe, but the thing is,
I think in the long term as well.
We get, if they don't pay us 100 million or 80 million, we get to keep Rodri for another season, probably win the league.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
how's that hurting us?
Well, because we will be paying effectively over £100 million to rent a player for a season, and there is no rational world.
Jeff said it.
No rational world.
The big boss won't sign off on any deal that does Real Madrid any favours. After the way,
I don't think so.
It's all about stature and reputation and face, and they've tried to pull a fast one. He won't put up with it. So I don't believe he
but
would
my
sign
point
off
is,
Madrid.
my point is, no, you see, I disagree with you. I think in a few months you've forgotten about it. Then Madrid come out in January, having signed a contract with him, and we've got a player playing for us who's signed for Madrid, like happened with Trent, but he didn't sign until about April or something. And we've got a player for all the important matches of the season who, to all intents and purposes, now plays for another football club. I think that's not what's going to win us a league. That is going to do us harm.
Okay, so what happens when they start to launch their full propaganda campaign to get Haaland or Gvardiol?
I think Haaland's
because it's coming. We know he's got a 10-year contract. But, you know, it won't stop them.
They do it every international break.
I think you're just belittling the team around Haaland's mentality. Haaland goes when Haaland.
I'm not belittling. I'm just putting that hypothetical.
Yeah, no. And I think we're also talking a situation. This is not Madrid coming in and taking a 25-year-old player, a 24-year-old player who, you know, we have on a couple of years contract and we want to make something. This is Madrid coming in to a player who is from Madrid, born not far from their ground, who has won absolutely everything for City, who is past 30 and is looking to go home, you know, to be with his wife, be with his family, possibly have kids and do all that. And I don't think that's quite the same as Madrid coming knocking. If they were doing it for Gvardiol, or if they were doing it for, Doku or something, then I'd be thinking we've got to stand. But I think this is shaped as much by Rodri and what Rodri wants as it is Madrid. And I think we will be destroying the legacy of Rodri at City if we, you know, make it into a Tevez style battle of wills. I think we'll be making some other players think twice about City if we do it too much, you know. And you know, I don't think it's like Isaac. I don't think what Rodri's doing is like Isaac at Newcastle.
No.
Rodri wasn't 6 months ago signing a new contract, getting higher wages, saying, you know, how wonderful it was to be at Newcastle or at City in this case. Rodri has been rounded down that contract.
The dilemma is, right, if he really wants to go now, right, and Madrid don't put up, he's in a rock and a hard place, isn't he? He's knackered. If he wants to go now and they don't match that money, then he's going nowhere, then he's stuffed.
Well, I think he probably knows that the club can't take an insulting lowball offer for him. I don't think he's built that way.
6 weeks ago, we'd have been doing well to get 30 million for him. He's had an amazing World Cup, and he's probably tripled. You know, we're now asking for 100. We'd have done well to get 30 million for him if he'd have had an average World Cup.
If he didn't have that performance.
Yeah. He's had 2 or 3 games, and that has changed everything from, you know, he's going to go, he'll go for, so it's quite, you know, I think we've got a little OTT the other way, but I think we need to find a way that, you know, City say, you know, City, and the trouble is the fans now saying we need 100 million. That's now putting City in a position where City are trying to save face and not.
We're standing our ground, Rich. You've got to stand your ground, mate, with them.
I think this has been brilliant.
If you get the 7 best years of a player, and I want on record, I hate him going to Madrid because I hate Madrid. I think Madrid treats him like crap. So I'm almost trying to pretend it's not Real Madrid, it's Barcelona doing this. But if we get a fee, if we get more than we paid for him, get the 7 best or the 5 best years of his career, and we get to replace him, and then he goes on good terms with us, I think that's a good outcome for City. Better outcome than us trying to push for an extra 20 million and either ending up with an unhappy player, or the worst scenario for me is he stays for a year and on January the 1st he signed that contract and we spend the whole second half of the season, every important game, with a player in our team who we know is on loan from Real Madrid. And that's what I don't want.
January the 1st, he will sign that contract with Madrid.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know
he's
that.
coming. So you cut your nose to spite your face for 6 months.
And that's not teaching Madrid a lesson. That's Florentino Perez lording it over us.
I hear everyone wants to do this. Teach them a lesson. Show them who the big boy is. You do that.
That's not what I was saying.
You do that when the 4 years on a contract, not when there's a 1 year.
But don't mischaracterize my argument.
Sorry.
And Rich has put a brilliant counter case to mine, and I think that they both occupy a space that's worth thinking about. I think both arguments have been made well. We disagree, but that's perfectly fine. We should disagree. You have to learn for the chat. We're looking for one person to be right and one of us, me to be right and Rich to be wrong, or the other way around. Don't do that. Try and hold two contradictory ideas in your head at the same time and let them fight it out between them. Let the ideas fight it out. It's not about the personalities. It's not about.
I'm sorry,
people.
but if we've got the best midfielder in the world, and you've got people like Rodgers and that going for over 100 million, I know we've only got a year. Forget about the year. We've got the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah, but Gov, you're missing one really critical thing here. When you buy an asset like Rodgers, if he signs for 4 years, there's every chance he's worth as much in 4 years as they've signed him for. So you've got an asset that is holding its value. This contract that Rodri signs, he has zero asset value at the end of it. So if you think he's, even if you think, 100 million today, he's worth zero in 4 years or even 3 years.
Okay.
Whereas,
slightly different.
Elliot Anderson, we can sign.
Well, does
and
anyone
Elliot
think
Anderson
he will
might be worth
extend?
200 million in 5 years.
Does anyone think he will extend or could extend? Yeah,
we'd love it if he did. But
I don't mean love. Does anyone actually think that could now happen?
So, Rich, let me put a hypothetical meeting to you, right? So your City, that Perez did not want to buy Rodri, but now he has to because of the amount of pressure that's been put on him by the Real Madrid fans, because Rodri won the World Cup, right? He's the World Cup winning Spanish captain. So Real Madrid definitely want him. Their fans are in a frenzy to sign him. They don't give a shit what he pays for him, right? Their fans are not going to say, don't pay 80 million for him. And you're going into the meeting as the seller, knowing that Perez has to buy him or they'll hang him.
I mean, after that Rodgers deal,
seriously damages him.
After that Rodgers deal,
he's Teflon. He's like Nigel Farage. He gets away with bloody anything. And
maybe
he was got to Arsenal all the way. So what Martin said, do you think he'll sign? Why he's put that? Do you think he'll sign an extension?
Fucking hell, is Alan here?
Could happen. Anything could happen.
Where's Alan?
No, that's what we're saying, Citizen. Yes, you can sign the contract in January and leave for nothing. So
that's horrible to think about. I don't want to think about that anymore.
But it could happen.
Yeah,
I know, but no need to label.
And that's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah, it is. Listen, I understand. People's argument in the group chat say, "Go and get whatever we can for him." I hear all that because we're looking at it from a City point of view. But so
am I, Martin. My longer argument is about our stature now amongst these 5 clubs. And I think that you have to behave in a slightly different way. Rich disagrees. Rich thinks that we will take a short-term, substantial hit on it. And I agree. I can't disagree with him. The numbers are there. But the thing is, what our chairman and what our owner wants was laid out in every speech that he makes. Every year we look forward to these speeches. That's a new thing for football, I think. And our rival clubs have tried to wheel out their people, and they just don't look sincere. They don't look real. When Khaldoon speaks, I believe that that's the ambition of this club. And I genuinely believe that the ambition of our owners is to build our empire on the dust of Real Madrid's and Barcelona's.
Yeah, but
I definitely think that's what we're trying to do. And you're probably right that now isn't the time to do it. But I'm still saying it's an opportunity to make them think twice about how they deal with City as a club And in the longer term, that might be much more beneficial. But that's the only argument I've got, and I know it's not very strong. It's not me going, let's teach them a lesson. It's nothing to do with that. I think this transfer, Perez has been forced into it, and then he's got to pay a price for that. It's got to hurt.
I mean, I'll say this. I think if it was Diaz or Gamardio who had 3-4 years, then yes, I think we can play this. Give Madrid a less. I 100% agree with you on that. I think, sadly, because of the contract situation Rodri is in, and this is with anyone, the same with Mark Gahey, with Palace, when we took advantage of it and got him for 20 million quid because he had 6 months left. Palace didn't want to sell him at 20 million quid.
Yeah,
they were talking 80-90 million a year before, and we came in 6 months left, 20 million quid.
I just said earlier, Arsenal are going to get it in January. If they've got two players that Madrid fancy, that mad. We've seen it with Rodri. It's mad. They're tweeting 2 tweets. They did 12 tweets in an hour about Rodri the other day. Chompy counted them, and I think he posted them. 12 tweets in an hour that were basically a rewording of the same story, but just becoming slightly more hysterical each time.
See, I don't get this.
Rodri was going there.
Vinny Jr. is not the same as Rodri. I don't understand this Vinny.
Different conversation.
That's a completely different stratosphere.
Vinny Jr. has been negotiating his contract with malice.
Vinny Jr. is going to
he's as Machiavellian as the Real Madrid owners are. He's played a brilliant game. I had this
debate last night. Fans get excited on a tweet now. And this is games. I understand that people want to get excited over anything, but fans are wanting a tweet to come out from Ornstein. City are holding interest in Vinny Jr. And then you'll see, my club's moving. My club is serious again. So what they've done is, again, this is, I think that's like me being on one side of a bar, looking at a 10 out of 10 blonde stunner. By the way, each to your own. Some like brunettes, some like redheads. And somebody's going, do you know what? I'm going to go home with her. And then you text your mate an hour later, oh, I'm going home getting a kebab.
Just like Morrissey used to say.
What you put at the end of all that.
What you said.
Stop right there. I need the Morrissey quote.
Can I also just say that a lovely kebab after a good few beers is one of life's great pleasures. Let's not knock it.
Yeah, just give Macca a moment. The Morrissey quote, please, sir.
I want to go home. Oh my God.
Shall we give you a minute?
I go home alone and I cry and I want to die. Something along those lines.
And then I want a kebab.
But vegetarian kebab.
Vegetarian. Yeah, a bean kebab.
You're right, Matt. You're right, Martin. Absolutely.
Oh, just score result. Chelsea just beat Sydney 6-4.
See, this is where I kept that. This City, but Sydney wasn't 20 million.
Mad result. 6-4.
We just paid 116. We just paid 116 million for Elliot Anderson.
Yeah,
City will pay the money if the money is correct for the player they want.
And they're not scared of any magic numbers like 120. You know,
ultimately with the state of City as well. City would have overpaid for Gahey because overall in the package, and I mean this is the fee, their wages, the signing on fee, because they knew there was a 1 in 5 chance if we didn't get a centre back in, we might not make the top 4 spots, which it was at the time. They knew that it could cost us dear. So they're thinking, right, he's worth, a total package signing on fee this of 120 million or 150 million, whatever it was. But in that circumstance, City would have gone to 170 because they knew that there is a chance that we had to get a centre back in January because of where we were. And, they may well have been right that. We don't know if we'd have been forced to play on in Jan and Feb without Gahey, whether it would have substantially changed our season.
True.
So I think that was part insurance policy.
Yeah. Yes.
Do we think the hypocrites at Real Madrid, if Rodri comes out with Ballon d'Or again, will actually attend this year? Or will they boycott it again because Rodri's won
Depends
it?
whether they've got him. Yeah, depends whether they've got him.
Ooh,
When
yeah.
is the
I don't know
Ballon
the
d'Or?
answer to that.
Good point.
Is it November, October, November?
Usually October,
Ballon
I
d'Or.
think.
Yeah.
I think the reality is there's only one Madrid player with a remote chance of the Ballon d'Or this year in Mbappe, though, isn't there? I mean,
Yeah.
and even
Yeah,
he
you can say that, Rich, but again,
he hasn't really won
accolades
anything.
are a
So
huge contributing factor, and he won nothing.
well, yeah. And my point is that it's hard to say, he didn't win anything. He didn't win a league. He didn't win a Champions League. He didn't win a World Cup. So it's hard to me to see how, I mean, I still don't think, despite the World Cup, and I felt the same 4 years ago, I think Haaland was the rightful winner of the Ballon d'Or when Messi won it for his World Cup. And I do think when you look at the overall season, there's no way you can say that Rodri over the season has been the best player in the world. I think it would be unfair to the Elises and Kanes who had 50, 60 good games when Rodri had 5 to 10 wins it. But the precedent was set by Messi. He won it on the back of a World Cup when Haaland had done everything imaginable in the game that year, except because he's Norwegian.
Right, Rich. So by that law, Rodri should be the favourite for the Ballon d'Or now.
Well, I think he is in the betting.
Yeah.
I think in the betting he's now favourite.
Otherwise, the writers, the
I'd be a hypocrite. I'd be a hypocrite if I said that was right, given that I thought it was bloody awful when Messi won it.
We know there's no official bid from Madrid at the moment for Rodri, but if Rodri does win the Ballon d'Or, they're going to be getting the Ballon d'Or winner. Now, does that put more money on him?
Yeah, exactly. Charge him more.
I think with some players.
Do you want to hear the betting? Do you want to hear the betting in the Ballon d'Or? It's quite interesting. Harry Kane 6 to 4 is the favourite. Lamine Yamal is 2 to 1. Rodri is 7 to 2. Kylian Mbappe is 5 to 1, and Messi's 14s.
And no Elise.
No Elise in that list. I can try and find some other odds.
No PSG player.
Messi
no PSG.
Just tells you there's too many English betting. What do you say? Harry Kane's 6 to 4.
Yeah, I'm just asking for some more sources just to see, just to make sure, because it's always worth doing, because these things do hallucinate. Okay, no different sources. So this is Kalishi. Harry Kane 13 to 8. Yamal second favourite. I mean, he's a kid. Won't he get the junior Ballon d'Or? Lamine Yamal 9 to 4. Rodri 9 to 2. Mbappe 6 to 1. Messi 14 to 1. And nobody else. That's the top 5. Let me see if I can go any deeper. Top 10. Let's see if that throws up anyone else. Okay, so we were up to Messi at 14 to 1. Fabian Ruiz at 33s. Kubarasi at 33s. Dembele 50 to 1. Haaland 50 to 1. And Kvaratskhelia 55 to 1. So they're like no shot.
He's hurt by his country, because some ways he was, arguably, I don't know, the best in the Champions League. I thought he was probably the best player.
Yeah,
ahead of Elise in the Champions League, and 55 to 1. Is that just because he's Georgian, so he doesn't get a look in at the World Cup and stuff? Because he's a fan, he should be right up there.
He should be a target.
Harry Kane. He did everything Harry Kane did, apart from the World Cup.
What's he doing at Napoli?
Sorry, can I ask
PSG?
Where's he said it? Because I'm on his Twitter now, and the only thing he put was 42 million is a great price for Real or something like that. It's not mentioned, sir.
Who said that? About who?
People are saying Stephen Bourton said City will go for Vinny Jr. And I'm on his Twitter now and he's not saying anything. Plus, I can DM him and ask him because he's on holiday at the minute.
Obviously, someone like...
I think people are reading stuff and misconstruing what gets said.
Well, the thing is,
I think people just make stuff up. I think
a lot of the bullshit
a lot of
IT gets
sarcasm
make
as
stuff
well.
up and then put an at, and then when you go to the account, which is what I always recommend people do.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm at his account
Yeah,
and I'm looking at his replies, and there's
you
nothing.
find that they haven't said anything.
He'll be extending. He'll make a bit of noise.
I'm looking now. I'm not saying
Rooney.
you're lying, but you need to pin the tweet then, mate. 'Cause
He's doing a Rooney.
I can't find it on his tweets.
It's not Stefan Borson. If it is, that is exactly what you need to do right
He's on
now.
holiday at
Whoever's
the
saying
minute.
this, you have to send the Stefan Borson tweet, not just put Stefan Borson's name, or not read an aggregator who's just made some shit up and put Stefan Borson's name.
I think there was
on.
a few people who put together montages of about 25
No, I'm looking. If I
photos,
find it, I'll let you know,
photos of Haaland and Vinny together, and their bromance in various commercial things and also matches.
And on Instagram, he wished Erling happy birthday. See you soon. And so some people thought that meant he was definitely coming to see. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, I will say one thing: if Vinny Jr. leaves Real Madrid, it'll either be some stupid Saudi deal, or he'll come to City. I don't think he'll go to Arsenal. I don't think he's remotely interested in Arsenal. I think Paris he'd go to, but I think they've got better players. I don't think he's as good as Villa and
I think it's an extension.
The Paris team. The one thing about the extension thing is I think he has suffered incredible racism in Spain.
I can't find that.
And I do think there must be part of him who wants to go and play in a league where you're not getting abuse from fans for being black.
Yeah.
Spain.
Right.
I've seen some of the crowds with him, and it's like going back. I mean, I can't even remember in the 80s it being that bad, apart from at Millwall in English football. And English. I remember racism away fans to Alex Williams and stuff as a kid and being like, WTF. But I've seen worse in Spain towards Vinny in 2024, 25 than I saw in Britain in the 80s. For all people who say, how bad Britain is in UK is in some things, I don't think I've seen that since then. So there must be part of him. And I don't think he felt supported by Perez when those things happened. Yeah. And I don't think he felt
sorry, I found it now. No, you are right, I say. Found it. So you just said it's pretty likely City and possibly Liverpool are also in for Vinny Jr., but the cost of the deal would be pretty astonishing for anyone. The 1 year transfer fee discount still has the 1 year contract uplift, and the other side of it is 500k per week, all in for 5 years.
Just forget about it.
Forget about it. It's going to be Haaland money anyway.
Can we, Rich? Can we go back to the other teams? Can we go back to the other teams?
Over Real Madrid.
Do you think? I don't think they will do anything, but Spurs have been a bit giddy, haven't they, in the market? But I don't think they're going to do anything.
Expect it to be Spursy again this season.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They don't have Europe though, and I think we saw with United last year. United are a mid-table team, and only playing 40 games in the season turned a mid-table team into a top 4 team. And they're a mid-table team with a failed championship manager as well. Let's be quite clear. Yeah. Carrick's biggest success is getting fired because he took Middlesbrough to like 9th place. So I don't think I think he did well last year holding them together. But I think with no injuries and only playing one game every 2 weeks, I think there was one period in about March where City played something like 7 games in the time United played 1. So they were having twice as long to prepare for every game, twice as much rest time, twice as much training and preparation as any of the teams around them. And, they still didn't take down City and Arsenal, who were exhausted and doing everything with far more injuries, far more football, far less preparation. So I look at that Chelsea and Spurs are going to improve significantly just on the basis of not having European football.
Yeah.
And Villas-Boas is a much better manager than Spurs have had in recent times. So, do I think they're going to be challenging for the top 4? Probably not. But I'd be very surprised if they're not comfortably in the top 8 in the Premier League next season.
Can we try something? Because we never talk about, other teams. So can we just go through alphabetically? We won't cover the teams that we've done and restrict everybody to like a one-liner or a very pithy quote, right? Say 2 sentences, right? I'll start. If it's going well, we'll keep doing it. Right. Aston Villa, 2 sentences.
Europe.
Utterly screwed by cheating red cartel.
But still top 9.
Despite,
the managers are force of nature.
Yeah.
A well-run club with a very, very respectable manager.
Yeah. I think maybe top 5. Right, Bournemouth. You can say I have no opinion about them. It's fine because I'm going to say that about quite a lot.
Dave going up against a lot of Goliaths.
They're a bit decimated as well, aren't they? So
yeah.
I mean, if you're referring to what they did last season, they're certainly Dave amongst a big group of Goliaths.
All right.
And I think they're a team that the oxygen is going to run out sometime.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Brentford.
Best run club in the Premier League.
Same, really.
Yeah.
I think they're similar teams.
Yeah. But I think they're just a little bit more stable. And I think
Bournemouth are more attractive.
Wealthier than Bournemouth. But I think they just got a little bit more. Brentford are incredible.
Top 7 and 8, and they always cause problems for us.
And
nobody looks forward to going there.
Yeah.
The way they look after the biggest credit I give them to is the way they look after their fan base is exceptional.
Yeah.
And when they lost Thomas Frank,
literally have
2 or 3 of us predicted them to go down.
They quite literally have their own version of like Samaritans where the fans can call in. Or they'll actually, not just call in, but they'll actually call the fans just to, how you doing? How's the family? How you doing?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so innovative.
Fantastically run club.
Wow. I didn't know that. I'm glad we're doing this bit. Right. Brighton.
Nearly the best run club in the Premier League.
Yeah, just behind Brentford.
They're an exception. Brighton are
they're like a mini BTEC Dortmund or Benfica.
They've got American owners.
I love that.
No, Brighton are owned by Tony Bloom, who's a professional poker player and runs a gambling data company. But he's from Brighton. He's a Brighton fan. From I think he's from Brighton.
Is he doing Moneyball there? Do you think?
Yeah, no. He runs a business for that did a lot of predictive analytics in sport.
Yeah,
for high stakes gamblers. And
if anyone's doing Moneyball in the league, it's definitely them, isn't it? The Moneyball team. I
think Brentford were either doing something similar or even a disciple of what Bloom was doing.
Well,
so those 2 clubs, Brighton
so
and
all the B clubs are doing
Moneyball.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, there's a narrative for the season. All the B clubs are doing Moneyball.
I've got
and they're all incredibly well run.
Yeah. I've got a lot of good mates who are Brighton fans, and and it's interesting their philosophy. Part of the reason they're able to sign such talented players is that they do let them go, because when they sign the likes of Casado and players and McAllister, Cucurella, they know they're signing players who are unlikely to be at Brighton in 5 years, but they know they can get 2 or 3 years out of them when they're young, help them become a really established top 10 team, but they know they then have to sell them.
So are their fans comfortable with what are their fans' highest expectations then, given that they're so realistic? I love it. They've never that realistic.
They've never won. I think if I was any Brighton fan, winning the FA Cup would be. I don't think they've ever won a trophy. I think Palace beat them.
No one team now, given Palace's success in the last 2 seasons. Yeah. Their fan base will be desperate for it.
And everyone was chuffed for Palace. I just wished it hadn't been against us.
Yeah, true.
I think they're a team. Yeah, they're a team who winning the FA Cup would make You know, it'd be the greatest day of a lot of their fans' lives.
Well, if we can't, I am now rooting for them. You know, as soon as we're out, and if they're still in it, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll watch those games. Right, Coventry City. Hello, goodbye.
Ooh, close to relegation for me.
In it, yeah. Anybody else got any confidence?
I've got a soft spot for Coventry.
People like Rich and MACCA, like
17th.
us heritage listed
17th.
supporters, heritage listed supporters are definitely excited to have them back in the league.
The manager always honours the players, and they never build the players. They stick with the players that brought them up.
They've got a bit of money, Coventry. They've got a bit of money to spend.
That could be the downfall.
Right.
And they are playing in front of they're playing in front of like 38,000. So they've got a good crowd. They've got, I know they don't own it, but not a bad stadium. I think they've got a bit of money. They've got a bit of money behind them.
Newcastle, it's a one club city, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, when they won the FA Cup, I was living in the nurse's home at Crumpsall because I was a nurse and student nurse, and the girl I was dating was a Coventry City fan, and she was like mad Coventry City. She'd go home at the weekends to watch the games, and she couldn't get a ticket for the game because of shifts and shit like that. So we all watched the game with her, and we all became Coventry fans for 90 minutes, and they won. It was brilliant. It was a great day.
I worked for 2 years at Highfield Road, so I've got a soft spot for Coventry, you know.
Right. Palace next.
Rough stuff.
Palace next. Palace were my tip for a top 4 place last season, and the wheels came off, and I don't know what happened. So
I think it's good, Trev. I think it's because they put all their eggs in the Conference League basket.
Right.
They've done enough. I think 2/3 of the way through the season, you can tell they've done enough to not just stay up, but stay consistently sort of like in that mid-tier level of the league, and then they put all of their resources, everything into the Conference League, and obviously it paid off.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
I really don't like Palace. Horrible place to go, Selhurst Park.
No, it's
awful. Of all the grounds in London, it's probably still the best one to go to.
Awful.
It's like going back in time, which is probably quite enjoyable in some ways.
It's a nice change from, say, the Emirates or
I
don't know. I haven't been to Tottenham's new ground yet, or West Ham. Obviously, everybody needs a pair of binoculars, but
still never forgiven for losing that 1990 Cup final. Changed.
I'll never forgive him for the was it 1995 quarter final of the Littlewoods Cup when they beat us 4-0.
Oh yeah, 4-0.
I'm not forgiving him for that either.
I love this because we are confirming my my theory that all football fans, and especially City fans, are mainly held together by pettiness and grudges.
Yes,
it's
who we are.
I'm a big contradiction when it comes to Palace, because like you credit what they've done over the last couple of seasons too, but then you've also got what's his name there, the director of operations, who, from all reports, is actually sort of being like the one leading the charge against City for the 115. Basically.
Well, if they can fucking do one from now on, I hate them as much as I hate Real Madrid. Fuck off. They can absolutely do one. And for those 2 games that MACCA and Rich mentioned, absolute bastards, fucking do one.
Brighton can win the FA Cup and do the double over them in the league, and that'll,
The only thing with Palace, and similar to Bournemouth, is you'd hate to be their fans because their players always get pinched, don't they? Their best players.
Yeah.
And you'd hate to be that fan, of that club, knowing your best.
I think we have been that club. It's just that nobody wanted ours.
I think that's I think there's a lot of clubs in that.
Right. Next one.
Right,
members of the Blue Cartel, and actually some of the better fans on Twitter. There's a couple of Evertonian accounts that I follow that crack me up and are very realistic and actually very fair about our club. And I used to hate them. because the worst trouble I ever got involved in, and I wasn't looking for, was 2 games against Everton.
Goodison.
And one at Goodison and one at Main Road when I got there early. I can't remember why. It was a nighttime game. I got there early, and the Everton fans were running riot around the alleys of Main Road, and it was intimidating.
Quarters of the cup, I think, Trev.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It was the quarters. Yeah.
Madness.
So
they just ran riot early
I
doors.
would love.
By the time they got put in the ground, they were good as gold. But
you're right. There's a
I'd
lot
like
of
them
them
to do all right.
now.
I would
They're
love Everton to finish above Liverpool.
Yes, please.
That's my two
Let's have
sentences
that.
on that.
Yeah,
That would be one of my favourite things that could happen in the Premier League next season. Everton would do the double in the derby and finish above them.
yeah.
love it.
That would just make
Yes.
my
Well,
day.
Everton have done nothing really, have they? So I mean, I know the window's not finished yet, but I think they're just a mid-table team now.
Yeah. And going back to my childhood as well.
But it upsets United fans if Moyes does well as well. Never forget that. There's a
Going back
bonus
to-
point.
Yeah. Going
Side
back to my
quest.
childhood, I still remember that Everton team of, and maybe it's partly Welsh bias, but Neville Southall and Kevin Ratcliffe and Paul Bracewell, Gary Lineker and Andy Gray, Kevin Sheedy, Peter Reid. They were a bloody good side, and they were a team who could have gone on and won in Europe and achieved some real things. And their team was destroyed, partly by alcohol and partly by Liverpool getting them at the peak of their game, completely screwing over English football. And Everton have never recovered. Ironically, because it hit Liverpool directly and everything. It's Everton that's never recovered from the hooliganism in the mid-80s. Even though, so I'd love to see them come back and finish above Liverpool. I think they're talked down in a disgusting manner, because if I look at football, then people talk about who are the big historic clubs. Everton are arguably a bigger historic club than United, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. Everton and Villa to me are two teams that you really go back to the beginning of football, decade after decade, winning things. Until the 70s, 80s, Everton were the biggest club in Liverpool and have been for a century. And I think the way their modern fans talk down to Everton is just embarrassing. Everton
Disrespectful.
One of the biggest clubs. And if you look at top flight wins and top flight play stuff, Everton are still up there for the entire history of the game. I mean, respect to them.
The other thing about, I'm going to speak positively about the city of Liverpool, but
can we have a rich rant, please, Pat, in about 2 minutes?
No, obviously I hate Liverpool. Of course I do. I was explaining to a Liverpool fan. I think on one of the shows I was explaining, going back to the pettiness and grudges, I was explaining to a Liverpool fan the other day that every time we play Liverpool, I remember at some point before that game on the day, the ghost goal, the Kevin Reeves goal in the League Cup semi-final. That was and we ended up going out on away. We ended up going out on away goals, I think, because we battered them at Liverpool and couldn't beat them, and so I will think about that goal, and that was 1981, and we're in 2026. But every time we play Liverpool, part of the reason why I want to beat them, even now, is because of that injustice. I will never let it go, But the other thing that I learned about Liverpool, the other thing that I learned about Liverpool as a city, because when I went to uni, one of my best mates, a medical student called Andy Hershon, Scouser, mad Liverpool fan, right? Brilliant guy, love him to death still. And I started to go to Anfield with him as well. He comes to Main Road with me. I go to Anfield with him. And I learned a lot about the city of Liverpool. It is a city that is in love with football. Manchester is to a certain extent. But you can have a great conversation no matter who you support at any pub in Liverpool. You will get one of the fairest and most passionate conversations. It's not Twitter. Go in a pub in Liverpool and just tell them you're a City fan and you fancy a natter. They're not going to batter you. They're going to talk to you properly.
I won't say that.
I've been at games at Anfield, stood in the cop with Andy, and watched them applaud a good move by an opposition team because it was a good move. I never saw that at any other game, any other ground. That city
Well,
They're not special. It doesn't mean more to them. It's none of that.
We clapped Arsenal off the bloody pitch at half time because of the way they played against us. So I think I've seen that at City plenty of times.
Yeah.
I've seen us clap the opposition off.
Yeah, it might have happened. It might have happened. But, I think that context about the City of Liverpool is worth hearing. So I've said it now. Next is Fulham.
Yeah,
next is Fulham.
They're still Confederates.
Just found a good one for you, being Liverpool.
Know what the best chicken and Cannock is in the area.
The weirdest thing about going to Anfield with Liverpool fans is there's a Chinese chippy opposite the Kop, right? And the people in it are Chinese. Now, in the 1980s, Chinese people who own Chinese chippies in Manchester spoke like Chinese people. I'm not going to do the accent because it's patronising, right? And I was in this chippy and I did my order. And this Chinese guy turned around to me and went, "Do you want gravy with that?" And I had to double take because he was Chinese. I was like, "Do you want gravy with that?" Who said that? Was it you? It just did my head in. Anyway, simpler times. Yeah. Right, Fulham. Where are we with Fulham? Do we have any opinion at all about Fulham? It's fucking hard, isn't it?
I give him credit for no longer. No, I give him credit now for no longer having the tag of being a yo-yo club.
Nice day.
That has just doomed them to relegation, I reckon.
Yeah, they're off.
I think you've doomed them to relegation. I know who I'm predicting for relegation now.
Yeah. And I think most of us agree it's probably the best away day in London.
It's an hilarious ground.
It's a nice part of town, but I still think the best away day in London's QPR.
Yeah, I love QPR.
I kind of hate Fulham because they were the first ones I remember. After we bought Jack, they booed Jack, and I thought, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
we didn't buy him off you, right? We bought him off Villa, and what the fuck does it mean to you? You're fucking Fulham. And you're booing Jack. Jack went over to take a corner and we were all, "Boo, wanker, boo, 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 boo." I'm like, you're not even relevant in this conversation. He's done nothing to you. What are you just trying to join in? You just joiner-inners.
And someone's got to go down so Coventry can stay up. So I reckon now Pat's signed the kiss of death. I reckon Fulham are going down to allow Coventry to stay up.
We were watching their results every week now.
Yeah, just so you all know.
That's why I'm loving this conversation. We've all got agendas for going into the season. All right, the next one. Hull City. The North East have got another team.
Straight down.
Yeah, straight down.
Yeah. Not much hope for them.
Straight down.
And they're not the North East, they're just the kind of East.
Can I have when you've done this, can I have my yearly rant at the club? I just want to have my yearly rant.
After we've got through the Premier League,
Just my yearly rant.
We're up to 12, but we won't be doing every team because we've done some already.
It's not a nice... I also think Hull's just not a nice name for a place. It sounds like it.
Don't do that. One of our mods, stewards at Hull. Don't you?
I quite like that kind of Hull Carlisle accent. It's a very soft kind of Geordie.
Hey, listen, I like.
It's really a gentle version of Geordie.
I like Hull.
I did like Spider. They used to have a great nightclub, Spider's nightclub there, which I went to.
Capital U with no H.
Hull. Yeah.
Just let me know when I can have my rant. You guys finish this and then I'll rant.
Well, you know your alphabet, so we're up to H.
Right, Ipswich.
Right now.
Has anyone been asked enough to get an opinion about Ipswich?
Too bloody far away.
It's fucking far. I went to the Speedway there once and it was cancelled.
Is it like from like Manchester? It's like single carriageway from Peterborough or something.
You've got to go down to get up.
They've been rubbish.
I heard it's an absolute mess.
They've been rubbish since the early 80s. They were brilliant in the late 70s, early 80s. They were a really, really good team. They had,
Am I right to say they won in Europe in the 80s, Rich?
Yeah, you went.
Yeah, that's right.
And they only missed out on winning the Division 1 by a couple of points. So they came second to Liverpool one season.
Was Peter with them?
Great side. No, he's They had Alan Brazil and John Walk up front, Franz Tyson.
Alan Brazil was someplace.
Mancini's back. Mancini's
you
back.
got the gig as
Terry
team manager.
Butcher. Terry Butcher,
Mancini's
Paul
back in
Cooper.
Italy, by the way.
Yeah, Terry Butcher, yeah.
Terry
All right.
Butcher. They had some
Trevor
really
Walk.
good players.
John Wall.
Right.
Yeah,
John Walk.
Yeah.
John Wall was good.
he missed
Yeah.
a penalty. First season I went to watch City, he missed a penalty against City at Main Road, so I liked him.
John Walk.
All right. Next, Leeds. Boo.
Oh, dirty Leeds.
Horrible.
I
Horrible
think
to
Leeds
say
will do well this year.
Do you know, there's two things in Leeds' favour. One, I don't hate them as much anymore. Partly because my brother lives in Leeds. His missus is a diehard Leeds fan, and I felt so sorry. One of the times I was over a couple of years ago, they got relegated and felt really bad. And Leeds are trying to recreate the Wales team in one side, so they've now got 5 Welsh internationals playing for them. So I want Leeds to stay up. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be living in.
Going to have plenty of leaks at the back.
I'm going to be living in the countryside for a couple of months outside of Huddersfield, and where our kid lives. And our kid's best mate, who's a top guy, is a massive Leeds fan. So I've got to be gentle.
I like Leeds. I like Leeds to go out. I like Leeds as a city.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind it, and I've got kind of a base hatred since childhood for Leeds, but they're one of the only clubs who, as I get older, it's mellowing. Everyone else, it's getting worse. Like my hatreds for United and Liverpool and Spurs.
Don't get me wrong. Leeds
is kind of milder.
He's changed.
Leeds deserves a Premier League team because the fans are there.
Yeah.
They
so
like
they got the history. They should be a Premier League team. It doesn't make me like them. I remember when they got out at Stalybridge Station on the way to a match against United. They got out at Stalybridge Station and smashed the market up. Why?
Yeah.
But never mind. Right. The next we don't need to do because Liverpool, City, and United, we already know. Newcastle, our oil brothers, seem to be in a bit of a bind.
Relegation battle.
Could be.
I don't know what's going on there.
Well, they're about to lose Bruno as well because Arsenal they are now in advanced talks with Bruno Guimaraes.
What I fear is that the owners have lost interest. I've not spoken to Baz about it, but if we do an
we'll talk about it on Oil Brothers. But yeah, Bruno.
Because I want to be reassured by them. I don't want Newcastle to be cast adrift.
I don't
want them to lose their way.
I think what they're doing, Trev, I think they've bought young, so I think they're going to come in fruition in about 2 or 3 years. But are they going to survive? That's the thing.
Right.
They have bought.
Yeah, I had a message of Baz this morning. Baz is very worried because it was Baz who told me about the Bruno stuff, and he said, very concerned. They are really worried up there.
Yeah, and so they should be, I think. And I'm just looking for some hope from them. I think.
Well, you do realise Newcastle what has gone. Don't
I think
you?
what Governor said is a bit of a ray of sunshine. That if that characterises what they've done. Then they just have to hang on.
I'm a bit different with Newcastle.
A little bit.
I like them. I like them for Baz, and I think the fans are amazing. But that club wanted to fucking destroy us.
Yeah. No, there's always that. Yeah.
So my sympathy only goes so far because when you actually speak to a lot of Baz is the exception on his channel. When you speak to a lot of Newcastle fans, they hate City.
Yeah, the younger ones do. The older ones.
We've beaten them about 18 of the last 19 times we played them. It must be fucking irritating.
Yeah,
they really don't like us. They call us 115. They really have a go at us. There's only Baz's channel as any.
Talking about clubs that call us 115. Let's go to the worst YouTuber in the Premier League, Wolfie's team, Nottingham Forest.
Oh, don't listen. I like Wolf. Wolf is doing it for shits and giggles. He does it for shits and giggles.
No. He's a nasty piece of work. Calls our money dirty oil money.
Yeah.
One word. He's happy enough to bathe in it when we give it to him.
I know he is. He doesn't.
One word. Trev. Scabs.
All the scabs. Yeah. Send the scabs.
That's a minor strike. Absolutely correct.
Scabs. So that's what they'll always be.
Yeah. Just scabs.
Can I just?
And that's why Elliot Anderson wanted out.
Yeah.
He was
Just
ashamed of
to
himself
our-
being a Geordie at Forest.
Yeah.
Some of our fans that are panicking about the squad. Oscar Gavardio, I love his quote. Has anyone read his quote?
No.
As soon as I knew City wanted to renew my contract, I knew straight away it is what I wanted. The fans have been unbelievable from day one. The club provide everything for players. It's the best club in the world to be at. The players we have here are amazing. This is a world-class squad with young, up-and-coming players, and we are full of potential. I truly believe we'll have a lot of success in the coming years. So
Bravo.
this fear-mongering of Gavardio and Haaland,
Hang on, let's not derail because there's only one team left to go through, and we've done the whole league.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, there's only one because we've done Spurs.
Yeah,
So there's only
true.
one team left, Sunderland.
Come on,
Now,
Sunderland.
I think Sunderland's season last season was
Exceeded
derailed
all
by the
expectations.
AFCON. They lost 9 players to AFCON.
Yeah, there's about But I
They
think
were the worst affected team.
I think there
But
was
they
9,
played
but
some
I think only
incredible
7
football.
played, Trevor, in there.
And they did beat Newcastle,
Yeah,
and
7
they enjoyed
played
that.
Twice.
in the
Go,
first
Governor,
year.
what did you say? What are you saying about
I
Sunderland?
said it was 9 players when, but I think only 7 played in the first team.
Yeah. Well, they, you know, I mean,
Regular.
but you
Regular.
lose 7 first-team players
Yeah,
in
that's right.
the season for 2 months.
Yeah.
Nightmare, absolute nightmare.
Top 7 and to beat United home and away, please. Sunderland.
Yes, I like that.
I thought that was ours. Isn't that our thing? Beating out home and away and finishing them, finish 40 points.
Oh, and we're also
Oh,
forgetting to
unbelievable.
Sunderland are in our good graces after the way they gave it.
Fucking hell, I forgot you were here.
The way they gave it to the Rags after 93-20.
Yeah.
You're a top banana, you, Pat.
I think that I might put a quid on them. I think they're probably going to be like 25-1 to finish in the top 4 or something like that. And I think
Yeah, I reckon that'd be good.
because I put £1 on Palace and they let me down last season.
No, I don't know.
You know, but it's only £1, so who gives a shit? And it gave me a
No,
reason to watch some games
I
that I
don't-
You
wouldn't
warmed
have
up,
otherwise.
mate. You warmed up.
Could
So
be down the bottom.
that's it.
Sunderland. I reckon
Right.
Sunderland
We
will.
have done the one-liners against or about or for every Premier League team. I think we have highlighted some agendas for the season. We like the B clubs a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't like anyone in the Premier League. They're all fuckers. Manchester City.
No,
are the
obviously
best.
not. But for the purposes of this conversation, Martin, please try
Yeah, I
and go
know.
along.
I know.
You're one
Right.
of those out of business,
Please,
Martin.
for
You're
once,
one of those out of
fucking
business.
join in.
The bees have it. The bees
I'm a
have
grumpy old bastard today.
Just join in for once. Come
I'm a
on.
grumpy bastard. No, I'm a grumpy bastard because if anyone wants
But the
to know,
day the bees will stop,
Right now, you can fuck off. And
the
anyone
bees,
wants to know,
the bees
my
will
other
stop
I'll
the
tell you why
minute
I'm in
Birmingham City gets up.
reasons.
Because
My missus is booking
Oh,
a booking
yeah.
holiday in September to go away for 5
And
days
Burnley.
without me. Bitch. She's going away, so I'm not happy with her. She's in
good
bad
piss
luck.
up days then.
Yeah, and we're gonna look at scattering my dad's ashes today. So I'm in a bit of a grumpy mood because I'm
Right.
entitled to be today. Right, I always want to
Do
chuck
the
this out.
Gavardio thing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Read it
Well,
again.
You're welcome, Martin.
Well, Pat-
I recently received an email from the club asking if I was heading over to Hong Kong for this. It's the as you can see there, it's called the Harbour Pitch. Now, this is a special event that's going to be hosted by Manchester City on this coming Thursday Thursday afternoon over in Hong Kong. It's a special event that's actually going to be out on the harbour front, overlooking Kowloon and downtown Hong Kong in association with it's all to do with City releasing their away kit, which, if we all believe the rumours, which are probably the worst kept secret, is that black and yellow sort of worker bee.
Yeah, it's already been advertised today, 31st.
Yeah, so that'll be out to the public on the 31st. There will be a pre-event basically on Thursday afternoon in Hong Kong. So I'll be there for that one. I believe they're in the middle of a typhoon at the moment in Hong Kong. So I will do my best to try and fill you some content. But if
you get there,
if I'm swimming back to shore with a new kit, then I'll let you know how waterproof it is.
Cracking kebabs in Hong Kong, by
Right.
the way.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm
amazing.
hanging to, there's a steakhouse in Soho, Trev. I'm absolutely hanging to get back to.
If anyone is out there,
They cook the chips. They cook the chips in goose fat.
Ooh,
amazing!
It's incredible.
Listen,
yeah.
hashtag grumpy bastard Martin today. I know, I agree, I am. Listen, if you're out there and you meet Pat, say hello. Pat, are you gonna rock the Mancunian Way T-shirt you got? You still got it?
No,
bastard. Right, I thought you would, man. Right, we are, like I said, a couple of updates. We are in the process trying to launch a another, what they called, fantasy league as well for everyone to join in. Also, Spartacus out of the Gunners is working on a website for us as well to put everything on. It's going to be like results, previews, links to shows, news of the day, contract renewals, rumors, all that giff and gaff. You know, we might have a little section. I've got to speak with Tone, putting on Tone's rumors, things like that. The other thing, I just want to do a bit of a rant. So, yeah, I'm going to use your video here, Rich, if you don't mind, because I'm in a ranty mood about it. It's pissed me off. Some have received this email today. Some have. Man United away trip, VIP trip. Good afternoon. I hope this email finds you well. As a valued season member, I'm delighted to offer you a priority window for our first domestic VIP trip to the 26th, 27th to the Manchester Derby on Sunday, the 13th September at the Swamp. Exclusive package, pre-match VIP lunch, exclusive drinks, Chairman's Club at the Etihad, hosted by Club Legends Shay Gibb and Wright Phillips, exclusive Q&A with the Club Legends, car parking at the Etihad, and then you get transport over to the Swamp. An official ticket in the City away end, an exclusive VIP gift. That was the part that's got people. An official ticket in the Manchester City away end. That is the part that has got everyone's goat going.
Did they do this last year, man? I swear they did this last year.
Yeah, and it didn't go down well then. The biggest away game of the season should be the hardcore lot in that way end.
Oh, hell yeah.
We should not be doing corporate in the away end.
How many of those tickets are available?
I don't know, but there should be zero.
If it's 20, are we that asked?
Yeah, it should be 20? Zero.
How can they do corporate in that away end?
You don't do corporate in an away end.
Yeah.
No,
they're doing all the hospitality at the Etihad and then luxury bus over.
Yes,
to the Swamp.
That's. I'm sorry, there's an issue with me with that.
I need to know how many.
Away, that is your hardcore lot.
Yeah.
The most points, the most everything. You sing it out. We're at the enemy. You're not going there for a piss up and a day out. Old Trafford is not a day out.
You get in and get out.
It's war when you walk in that place, not a day out.
Mate, they didn't advertise that for Bournemouth away, did they? Did you notice that on the Tuesday night, mate?
This doesn't happen at Bournemouth away, where MACCA was pissed up like a fart, by the way. I don't know how you got that drunk, by the way, on that away day. Fucking Bournemouth, mate.
Jet lag, mate, jet lag.
He was absolutely goosed, was old governor. He come up to me and he went, "You all right, Martin?" Now, Bournemouth's very small in the concourse.
It just seemed small when I was next to you.
It's very, very compact. So it was fun.
Well, yeah, mate, they're not advertising it for Bradford City away.
Don't listen to the haters, Macca. You know how it is.
And do you know what gets me with it? This is where it's not even done on a point system. It's you pay the money. So you can have 0 points. That's taking tickets away from people who have got the 20, 30,000 loyalty points that may lose out. That's the bit I'm upset about.
What if, let's say there's 20 of those available, or 50, put a number on it, but it's not hundreds, right? What if it's 50 and they're all bought by proper blues who would be going anyway, who've just decided to treat themselves to a bit of an hospitality version of it? Have we got a problem with that?
Yeah, maybe,
I haven't.
I don't think it will be proper blues doing that, though.
It'll be 50 at least, because you're going to run a proper coach there that's going to host.
Yeah, it has to be viable as well.
They're not having lager louts in the bloody to go in the Legends Lounge. And have
but it's not all lager louts who are in the away end at Old Trafford for every game.
It can be.
It's our more well-heeled. No, that's a percentage of that crowd. But
just do it for another game. Don't do it for Old Trafford away. Is my whole point. That's the biggest away game. That's the one everyone wants to go to.
Yeah, but it's the only one where you can get a coach from the Etihad and be there within half an hour. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know where else they could do it.
If they apply the usual rules, it'll be suit and tie
yes,
for the.
I did it in the United end. I was in the United end, and I was quite open with that. I didn't take tickets off City fans.
Formal dress.
That's my issue. You're taking tickets off City fans.
So all the people that are buying all the people that are buying those aren't City fans. Don't have season tickets. Aren't going to the games every week. You can't say that.
They're just rich City fans.
They're just wealthy City fans, and we have those.
The point is, football isn't about wealth.
No one's saying it is. But what I'm saying is, you can't tell me that the people who buy that aren't proper Blues.
We'd have to give back our 8 Premier League titles.
This is my point.
Football is about wealth.
There should be no corporate for an away end at any game.
But you're just assuming that the people who buy it aren't proper Blues.
Well,
they were treating themselves.
If you're paying £950,
I agree with you,
it won't be on a point system. It'll be if you can pay the £950.
That's
there's
weird.
There's also
if it was done on a point system, if it comes out it's on a point system, I will come on here and apologise and take it back. But at the moment, it's not on a point system.
Have we still got the rule in place that an away game is £30? £950 for a steak meal.
$920 for everything else.
You know, when you can get the 53
quid for the ticket away.
£30 is different to £950.
But if that $950 is subsidising the £30 tickets for another season,
no, it's not. It's just a rule. It's 30 regardless.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I could do a decent away day on £950. Tell you that.
Well, it's been more like 2,950 for you, Macca, if you decide to go back from it.
That's very true.
But they haven't emailed Macca.
So. Danny goes home and away. You've been in away and you'll know.
No day £950.
Just go for the weekend.
What's the ticket prices for away ends again? Capped at £30.
30.
Yeah, of course so.
If you go to all 19 away games at £30, that's £570. That's £570. Nearly half of just doing that.
Yeah, but you don't get and by the way, right, PX, you're getting my whole point. This is my whole point to this. Trevor's saying it could be City fans, which is a fair point. I think you're assuming because it's more expensive, more exclusive, people won't be using this. But I think there will be. I don't think your diehards are going to be doing that when they can pay £30 for a ticket.
Martin, if I was,
if they've only emailed it to season ticket holders.
If I was
emailed me to offer it to me.
No, they've not emailed me.
If I was still a season ticket holder and I was doing well for myself, I could afford £950. I'd fancy that. Just for a different way to do the derby, just because I'm older now.
It wouldn't be a different way. It would be,
I don't want to walk down Warwick Road singing like I used to and running away.
This is the big problem with a lot of the fans at the minute, and the ticket situation is the biggest away games, which will because the whole part of the point system was you get the point system, you build it up on your loyalty.
No, I understand that.
The reason they're doing it is to get Liverpool, United, etc. away.
But if all those 50 people who are on that coach had enough points anyway, I don't begrudge them treating themselves to making it a more comfortable special occasion on the pitch with some friends.
My view's a bit more cynical. That's Premier League. That's Premier League football. Everyone's doing it. That's Premier League football.
So you always get someone with the bookie money like Rich who says shit.
No,
he's got a pool out back.
If you want
looking after his pool.
If you want old school football, you need to go to Oldham. Or you need to go to Oxford United.
Yeah.
You need to go.
And you don't want to go there because the football's shit.
It's still like it used to be. Because
Stadium in Celtic.
But Rich, I am an old school fan. I'm sorry, I've had this bet 1,000 times. I am an old school fan.
All right,
That's the price up north. What about down south?
Let's put this in a rock and roll.
Get it about
business context.
£2,000 it would be for Tottenham at Arsenal.
Yeah.
When I worked with Midas Promotions, right? We did some big. Well, they're just one of the biggest cons promoters, right, in Asia. So, and I used to handle the meet and greet, right? So you could buy your normal ticket to sit at the front, right? But you also could pay a bit extra and get a meet and greet with the artist. And I used to love working them because there were some beautiful moments I saw because the artists actually liked them as well. Or the artists that I was lucky enough to be working with liked the meet and greet. Do you know why they liked them? Because it was their most die-hard, dedicated fans that paid even more to actually just have a couple of moments and a selfie with their hero. I remember Christina Perry. She was just incredible with her fans.
But this is my point. There's not a chance to build enough points.
So, and they didn't need points to do that. They were willing to pay a bit more to have a special day. They could have bought a normal ticket.
That's what we're saying is wrong, Trev. You shouldn't be able to pay to jump a queue. It slaps in the face of the point system.
Yeah,
Bring back the old.
I'm just finding it hard to get that animated about it. I just can't get really angry about it.
I think, unfortunately, if you hurt your knee, you can jump up the queue to get a knee operation by having money. Private. And going and doing private, and sadly, it is the inevitability of capitalism, and that's what capitalism is. And
it doesn't mean I have to accept it, Rich. I understand it goes on. I don't have to accept it.
So we'll keep the red flag flying high.
But then, Rich, what gets me though? I'm going, Rich. What gets me though is you go on the City website right now, and they're offering each season ticket holder a member, to get 4 tickets for home games, up to 4, not 1 each. You can go on and buy 4 if you remember.
Martin, we'll just stay in our lane.
This is my point. You sat there having to offer 4 tickets out per fan because you're struggling to fill, but then we'll offer the biggest away game of the whole season, the most important to your hardcore lot.
You've got to live it.
Oh, jump the queue for £950 if you got the money. I'm sorry, there is an issue there. Football. There is an issue there with it.
How many tickets are we getting? 7,000?
No, you get 2.5 at United.
2.5?
Yeah, wow, we used to get 7.
Yeah. No, you get 2.5
for a derby. Well, I didn't know
it was a cup match. You'd probably go to about 5,000.
If it was cup game, you get 7,000.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think I mean, Matt, that there's a lot of stuff I look back to the 80s and 90s and like more about football. And this is one of them. Like football, the grounds are too nice. Everything's too expensive. Everything's sanitized. And yes, you get. I went to Bournemouth away a couple of years ago, and I got tickets from season ticket holders who got me a ticket in the away end. I had season tickets. The 3 of them had them for 40 years. And they said, don't let anyone know in the away end that you're not from Manchester, that you haven't got your ticket through that. I mean, they knew that I've been a supporter since, I was a little kid, best part of 50 years. But all the same, they said there's been kicking off in the away end because fans coming in from overseas supporters clubs and various things getting tickets, and the season ticket holders don't like it. Even when it's supporters club tickets, they don't like it. So, and we've seen Barcelona fans at Anfield where there's about 12 Barcelona fans in the city, and
I know, Rich. I got told off for being at Luton away.
And sadly that's what football is about, money, and
it's a dodgy deal, that. Would you eat the food at the Swamp? I don't know about that.
Not even now.
Also, 1 penny there. 1 penny there.
I don't like Tony Quizzer and take a pair of shoes just to into the swamp, come out, throw him in the bin, and put on your other pair.
Hope you're listening, mate. I hope you're doing well, but I'm definitely going to give him a shout when I'm over in November.
So hang on a minute.
It's 950 plus 50 for a pair of shoes that you've got to throw out.
I don't think you pay more than a tenner back, more than a fiver back in the day, Rich.
You get walking out.
So the Arsenal game right now, Arsenal Cardiff away, right? There are still tickets available. The game's in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is, right? I can still buy tickets for Cardiff away at the Community Shield. Why aren't we doing that? And by the way, there's 20, 100, 200. There's about 3,000 tickets still left for the Community Shield.
Yeah, no big corporate
do that.
Yeah, because you can't get thousands. No. Listen, you can't get a coach from the Etihad where you've just had your dinner and met the players and done all your VIP hospitality, which is part of the price that you're paying the 950 quid for, and be in Wales in 25 minutes. The distance between
so you're doing it for convenience.
Something here. It's because it's in Manchester. And it just takes half an hour to get from your hospitality to Old Trafford. So it's feasible to do it there.
Manchester derby is one of the biggest games.
So what you're telling me is true.
And the Charity Shield isn't.
Doing it because it's
I'm not defending it. I just can't be that arsed about it.
Because it's a Manchester derby away.
20 minutes away, but it's 3 hours away. If you're a City fan, you want to go to an away game, go to an away game and enjoy it.
No. You couldn't do that sort of VIP experience.
Yeah. And
for a game that's 3 hours away.
It shouldn't be a VIP in the City away end. Do it somewhere else.
It's demand and supply, though. You can't compare.
We don't want corporate in. There was no corporate ever in the away end. I've been to enough away games. There was never been corporate in away games.
Because you can't do it. You can't do it at away games. They're not near enough. Old Trafford is the only
games.
Because it's the only one that's near enough to be one experience.
Most in demand away game.
Martin, question for you here, Martin. Noel Gallagher gets an away ticket for any game he wants. Do you think that's because he's got the most points?
See, I love Amar here. Amar's using my own words. I trust the board. They've earned my trust. If you think it's a good decision, it's fine with me. I see what you're doing, Amar. I like it. But this is where people don't understand me a little bit.
Why do you think Noel Gallagher gets to any away game he wants? Do you think it's because he's got the most points?
No, it's because he knows the manager.
And by the way, Noel Gallagher gets criticised by City fans for it, Rich.
Yeah,
he does, but
he does so much for the awareness of our club.
Hang on, I was at Ipswich away where there was those 5 or 6 Real Mallorca fans, and it all kicked off there because of it.
Yeah.
So
not about Noel Gallagher.
MACCA will tell you, not about Noel Gallagher, no. MACCA will tell you he's completely different in that away end, Rich.
Another question for you. Every time you've got an away match ticket, have you got it because you've had more points than anyone else who's applied for it? Have you ever got an away ticket? Have you ever got an away ticket other than straight through the club when you've got the most points?
I've always paid for it.
No, but have you ever got a ticket where you were fans who missed out, who had more points than you?
Hang on a minute, right? No.
Martin, here's the question. Have you ever got a ticket where you didn't have enough points, but you said, do you know who I am?
No.
Do anything you can to get
that. Never once said, City fucking hate me, Trev, because of things like this. City hate me because of things like this.
Well, Martin, listen.
I don't call out the club on the pitch because on the pitch, I can't do a lot about. As a fan, my only job is I can have a say about tickets and stuff like that because that's where I can have a say. That's where I can influence a little bit. By doing protests and things like that.
If there's only 50 tickets, say there's one coach this time around and there's 50 tickets and it's oversubscribed and it's really popular, how many tickets next season on the VIP trip to Old Trafford?
That's a slippery slope argument, which is, by the time it's not... MACCA, the slippery slope's never a really strong argument. So
I don't know, mate.
There's a lot of ways to attack it. I'm not going to.
We've never done this
You've done
before.
the slippery slope.
We've never done this before.
I think it's a bit weird, that me. That's not. Right.
Listen, emotionally, I don't like it. I just can't get that upset about it. I just can't. I can't get that animated. I think there are other problems that we can criticise the club.
There's a million things about modern football which, I've got a problem.
Modern football is rubbish.
I've given up and
I
accepted.
cared about trying.
Old football was rubbish. Old football was rubbish. Old football
Can't say no one
was
cares.
rubbish.
There is still 24,000.
It is a good
Can
point.
Martin,
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe
enjoy the
shit.
game when you was in the box?
Say that again.
Did you actually, in general, did you enjoy the game?
Nope,
in the
hated
box?
it.
No, that's what I mean. That'd be the same. That'd be the same.
But you're not in a box. You're not in a box. You're out on the.
I've only ever done a box at City once, and I paid for it out my own money. Took my dad as a birthday treat. And my dad hated it, and I hated it because you sat. No one sings, no one jumps up. It's a bit. They just don't because it's very different. I want to sit there calling the referee. I see you next Tuesday, and this, that, and the other. And I want to go wild. I want to get the Poznan going. But it just doesn't happen because some people, this is true, by the way, some are City fans, some are not. You get a lot of the away fans that will go into the corporate as well.
Martin, remember one good thing, though. You didn't have to leave 5 minutes before half-time to get your Tizer.
Oh, piss off with the leaving.
It to you.
Listen, I'm not letting you do the leaving part because I'm sorry for being disabled.
I said half-time to get Tizer.
Cheerio.
It's curly-whirly.
Very Rich, what games do you go to where you're sat on your ass when I'm travelling to Cardiff on the 16th of August? What are you doing, sunshine?
I'm laid back. I'm laid back.
Yeah, you're laid back in bed. Like doing now. Sorry, you have to get up at 3 in the morning and roll out of bed and push a button on a remote. Fucking hard work.
I have to walk down the frigging corridor.
Do you know what? I just want to point out a pattern in the chat tonight because there's been loads of compliments about the show, and it's been quite a different kind of show by design. Rich set the template, right? This is what we're going to do. It's not going to be a transfer show. And at the beginning, I think if you did a wave map like they do with pressure from teams now, at the beginning there was this huge wave of people leaving comments like asking about transfers, and then all of a sudden it kind of diminished. And now you just see the odd one popping up going with a transfer question. You just haven't understood that that's not what this show is about. I think it's quite amusing. It's really entertaining that some people, no matter how good a show's been, and this has been a great show, right? No matter how good the show's been, no matter how entertaining the conversation is, and no matter how relevant it is to what's happening at the club, some people only want transfer stuff.
Yes.
And just relax about the transfer stuff. Every other show will be giving you transfers. Go on Twitter, there'll be 10 transfer stories completely made up by Etihad Intel and all of those wankers. So just go and read that stuff because sometimes you need something different.
I'm not going to call them wankers, though. Well, let's not call them wankers. They're just their opinions.
What MACCA brought up at the beginning, that new rule about the keeper, right?
Massive.
If the keeper is genuinely injured and the medical staff come on the pitch, the coach has got to bring a player off, right? And he's got to be off the pitch for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you get punished if he's actually genuinely injured? Not if they're only doing that for playmaking. But if he's actually genuinely injured, they shouldn't be doing that, should they? They shouldn't be taking the player.
Tough one, mate.
No, but have you seen what they're doing as well now? You've also got to on goal kicks and throw-ins. There's going to be a 5-second rule as well.
So that's
different. On the goalkeeper one, won't it deter faking?
That's what it's for.
Right. That's the point of it, yeah.
So I've got a serious question of the Premier League last year, right? The new rule that was introduced when Haaland pushed Anderson and it was before the corner kick's taken,
and
the goal still got disallowed, right? You know, you do adjusted tables, the league without VAR, and some miraculous reason, Liverpool always get 5 points more or something. Would Arsenal have stayed up if all the results were redone for last season, applying the rules from the World Cup? Would Arsenal got relegated, or would they have stayed in the Premier League?
Oh, gee whiz, mate.
They would have stayed in the Premier League, surely.
You think they'd have stayed up? I mean, they wouldn't have got you football, would they?
No.
Arsenal probably wouldn't have made
Maybe
top
about
10.
8.
Oh, I've also got another announcement. Sorry to thing on this. I don't know if you know, but there are tickets now on sale for City Are Back, 13th of August.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is an open training session at the Joy Stadium. It ends on the signings, etc.
Okay.
They are currently on sale. It's called City Are Back, 26-27. So fans are invited to watch City's men's first team continue our pre-season preparations. And I think that's only like a day or two when they land back in England.
That's brilliant doing that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
When are you there, Trev?
£5 for adults, £3 for under 21s, and over
and 950 quid for a VIP.
Hospitality packages are also available. But
it doesn't say
hospitality for the training session now.
Hospitality?
We're doing hospitality for the training session.
I'm going to that.
You lads might not remember.
Get a super chat and sponsor me to go to the VIP version of it.
You remember when we redid the Platt Lane under Franny, and you could go in and have a bite to eat at the buffet, like you could, like just like a hotel buffet style. You could go and choose whatever you wanted for a couple of quid, and the players used to be in the same queue. That's how mad it used to be.
Yeah,
they did all this good work, like they spent £1 million on the training facilities. And the players were queuing up with us, getting our sandwiches and Vimto. Classic, right?
Going on. Sorry, I'm going
cheese with pineapple on a stick.
This rule has got me. I'm going back to that rule about the keeper. If that player, the coach don't bring that player off within 10 seconds, then the captain has to come off the pitch.
That's right. Yeah, the captain. We're going to have to
make some conversations about that.
I've just bought mine. I've just bought 2 tickets, £3. Fucking £3.
And all of those conversations will be more interesting than James Trafford versus Donnarumma conversations. Of which
I've got 2 tickets to watch City train for £3.
Fair play.
There you go.
Wow.
You used to be able to nick your neighbour's ladder and just look over the fence.
You used to be able to go to Platt Lane.
There's 12p on the bus.
Yeah.
Martin, just get an old hot dog stand and reel it in, mate.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. I went to the test event for the new stand for the £5, and I was very happy about that.
Oh, you didn't go to that, did you?
Mate, I needed a pie and a pint, and I might as well go there.
I got invited.
I think Martin put ketchup on his
said
bowl
no.
pie.
I couldn't go. Not after what I'd said about the...
Oh, relocation.
Putting ketchup
what
on your
I said about the
again,
extension, and then I turned up looking. I'm not Two-Face. That's one thing I'm not.
Right. Brilliant.
I don't know.
Grace, I promise you now, some in the fan base will have a meltdown if we lose against Arsenal in Charity Shield. Have a meltdown.
Oh dear. I can see that coming.
You will do. Because there are some people, that are sat there with knives out ready for Maresca.
Yep.
If Maresca blows his nose in the wrong way, some will turn on him. Because they're ready for it. They're ready to do it. That's why Pat's going over there. Just ignore them and laugh.
I put a question out, a hypothetical today. So hypothetically, it's unlikely, but Rodri stays. All the people who've been slagging him off on Twitter, what are they going to do when he runs on the pitch? Are they going to boo him? No, because they won't fucking be there because they've never been to England, let alone to the Etihad. So we just got to put those people in a box.
Yeah.
Because most of the people who slagged him off and called him a snake.
I am asked about the glorified friendly. I am asked. If you're not asked, that's up to you. I am. Do you know why? Because it's Arsenal.
Yes, Chris, we know.
I'm very intrigued about, and I'm not even bothered about the players. I said this about pre-season because we are going to do watch-alongs, not because, you know, I'm interested in the signings, because I'm more bothered about the style, the tactics, what we're going to implement, how we're going to change as a football club.
If we do watch-alongs, do we have to have two lads in the background with hoodies up and one of them eating a biryani? And do we have to do the patois? That's what I want to know.
Oh, Jesus.
In it blood.
I do love Saeed's watch-alongs. I think they're fun.
I know.
No,
it's
I
hilarious. I like Saeed
Chris,
a lot.
They will, mate.
If I ever met Saeed, I'd give him a hug because I just think he's a diamond, you know. But the two gangsters behind him crack me up.
They are funny together.
We've had Nuruddin on this channel before.
It's like the dark monk of the biryani, whatever he's called.
I was trying to get you over to
Biryani Army.
If people want to go and watch some the City video about Gvardiol is now out, where he does a very good interview. And also, if anyone's interested, the first day of Elliot Anderson at Manchester City is also out on the City.
That was really nice. There were some lovely moments in that, including Maresca meeting the family.
Yeah.
And he says, "You've got my number." He's obviously given the family his phone number. You know, anything.
I think that was. I think he was giving, you know, Anderson's mum his phone number. That's how I took it.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes
I heard you say something on the south stand. Is the club big on Makeda? The club have got plans for Makeda. Yes. Yeah. That's why Kaldu mentioned him by name. That's in his interview. He mentioned him by name. Now whether he goes on loan, I don't know. But the plan at the minute is to integrate Ryan Makeda in. Whether that happens, again, I always say this, things can change daily. Things change daily. Things change hourly. Things just change. You know, I know people are a bit worried about Biana and that. City will make signings. Mate, I go in spaces all the time, Chris, and there's loads wanting him out. Anderson, the scrub, will agree to disagree on that.
That's why. I think
Anderson. I just saw the chat. I just realised I said talking about Marissa giving Anderson's mum. We just realised Anderson's mum passed away a few months ago.
Listen,
we didn't know that at the time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lost his mum.
I remembered it, but it completely eluded me. Yeah.
Just before the World Cup, wasn't it?
It was in the last month of the season.
Yes. Oh, she must be young.
That's right, Chris. You said behind needs to that lack of ambition. Why is it a lack of ambition?
Yeah, that's right.
Anderson's a great signing. We're going to get Buada.
Chris is just talking absolute bollocks, mate.
Come on,
ignore him.
We don't listen. You don't have to buy. People are getting mixed up between superstars and making a squad, a good squad. So. Just got to relax. Fair. He leaves good impression during it. Anyway, anything else you guys want to add? Because I know you all want to go to bed. Because you're lazy. Governor, what time are you doing Rich's pool, mate? What time's he booked you in for to go and give it a clean and a scrub and a?
No. It's the middle of winter, man.
No one's using it.
Oh, are you not using your pool at the minute, Rich?
No one is. Winter.
No, it's bloody freezing.
Freezing.
It went down to 9 degrees overnight yesterday.
I'm starting to think Chris could be knitting.
Is Chris knitting?
I'm starting to think Chris is knitting.
12.
We just have to read all his comments now in knitting.
Can we just say to Pat as well? Safe travels over to Hong Kong, mate. I hope you have a good journey.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Be careful of that humidity, mate. Because I know the last time you went over, you were sweating the minute you landed.
Well, I can't. Well, they're just coming through. They're in the middle of a bloody typhoon at the moment, so I don't know. What do I do? Do I cook up a sweat, or do I just get absolutely soaked?
No, the humidity will be even worse after that.
Yeah, we'll see. It was pretty bad in Korea when I was there 2 years ago, so I'd probably rather be in Hong Kong than be up in Seoul the following week.
Does anyone want Rich? Sorry, Pat. Does anyone want Pat to do that sing-along again?
Well, I'm not going to any. As far as I know, I'm not going to any open training sessions. So I'll probably be in with the Hong Kong Blues on the match day. So I probably will be a bit of singing. It's too bad Johnny Stones won't be there in his Inter shirt.
Yeah,
That's a
I like
great
Hong
move
Kong.
for him,
I've
isn't
been
it?
loads. I got loads of
That's-
mates there, and it's a
that's a
great
great
place to
move.
go out.
It is, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm staying in Wan Chai because I've stayed around that area before. Because
Sure.
it's
Why
it's
wouldn't
much
you?
nicer, yeah.
Yeah.
Wan Chai,
And I got a couple
Soho.
of fave hotels in Wan
Yeah.
Chai, but I usually stay with friends,
Mm.
you know, but they're all in kind of Wan Chai area.
Yeah. No, it's a good. It's
Great
a good
Lebanese restaurant there. I love going to that. And they've got
tomorrow-
Marks and Spencer's with a decent sized food hall.
Oh yeah, there you go. Once that's out.
Tomorrow at 5 p.m. episode 10 of Blues Brothers will be out. We were going to do a lunchtime show tomorrow. We've moved it to Friday because there's no news, and we want to get to the end of the week and see if there's any news. We don't want to come on and just spout the same old stuff. There's no news. So we're not just going to chuck a show at you for chucking a show at you. So the transfer show, Lunch in the City, will be on Friday now at 12:30. Thursday night chat. Don't know what we're going to talk about. I'll leave that up to the lads to have a debate about
Transfers.
Probably everyone will have a moan because Bruno
I
G's
think,
going
I think I've
James
heard
Trafford is gone.
pies
Petty
are going
party
up
special.
You don't
Pies are
know
going to be
yet.
12 quid at the Etihad next year, so we can
You don't
complain
know
about.
yet.
Well, Rich wouldn't know sat from his fucking sofa.
Right now, you can fuck off and keep on fucking off until.
No, you never know.
Lads, I got to go. I've not had any dinner.
You know.
I've got to get a bed.
8:45, not a child washed in the house.
Anyway, on Rich, you're hosting. Take us home.
Night all.
Fucking hell.
Take care, boys.
Guys, thank you all. We'll see you soon. Check out Blues Brothers tomorrow. And as always, up the Blues. Stay calm. City will do business. City will do business. Do not worry. Take care. And as always, up the Blues.